But just to give a bit more of an introduction, Criella, you joined the group last week. Would you mind giving a bit of a description of your character and how you came to be with the party? Thank you.
Crayola is a feral tiefling, dark blue, with dark blue skin and bat-like wings, wearing a big black cloak, and she was investigating a murderer and ended up in the plains? Well, and got trapped in a mirror. And she's a bit roguish and wizardy.
A bit roguish and wizardy,
I guess.
Yes, without giving away your class at all. And you're currently carrying 1 level of madness from the looks of things, from your times here.
Yes.
And also 3 levels of exhaustion. If I go back to you, Riddle, you've also got 3 levels of exhaustion due to recent events, which I'll go through shortly. In that case, Criella, could you, in the same way, describe your character for us, and also how you got here, being a newer party member? You may be on mute. Let me look. Yes, you are.
In Korea.
Oh, Lauren, sorry. We just
Right.
did Criella.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't ask him to do it twice, the poor guy. Hi. Lauren is a very tall half elf, pretty good looking, or at least he thinks so. Dashing bard. He is wearing a long trench coat with what looks like to be a breastplate of some kind of armor underneath it, and a lute on his back.
Okay, and you also still you've had it cured. You're no longer insane. You went through had a bit of a trauma through the night and the last few nights of sleeping, but you're feeling like you're on the edge, like you could tip back into madness at any point. That's the same with you, Coriella, by the way. And again, you're also very exhausted from recent events. Ashtar, welcome. We've also just been going through some introductions, so I saw you arrive. Would you like to do the same? Just give a bit of a brief intro of your character and your state.
Yeah, the Ashtar is half orc, who looks pretty lean and strong. Has no longer, sadly, no longer has the javelin. But she has a very, very nice sword.
Okay.
That she almost always has out at the moment. It's a two-handed, big, with a slight golden shimmer to it when she swings around. But it's just at the corner of your eye. You're not sure. Is that like a hallucination? And did I really see that? Yeah. It's her new favorite sword.
New favorite thing that you found here.
Yeah. New toy. Yeah.
Okay. And if you can, I've cranked your volume right up. But if you can either bring your mic closer or maybe turn it up a little bit.
Yeah. I might have to let me know.
I can hear it. It's just it's a lot softer.
Is that any better?
We'll give it a crack over time.
Not. Yeah, I'll keep looking at it.
Yeah. Okay.
I had that once before. I might have to change headsets.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, I'll also just briefly cover off that there's some others with you today, but with the group. Sir Lottle is the knight, the paladin, a lizard man, Oath of the Ancients paladin, and he's tried to summon his very first greater steed from the heavens, and this monstrosity of a greater steed here beneath him has appeared. It looks like some sort of walking bipedal octopus creature, but it still has the heart of a celestial steed. It just looks grotesque, and he's just summoned that. For today he'll be sort of off camera, and so not taking an active role in any of the hijinks. And there's also a cleric, Sir Petrus, with the party, who is a not quite undead, but not quite alive. Recently returned to active duty in the service of his god somehow, and he's on a bit of a crusade against undead, trying to return them either to life or put them to final rest. And both of the two...
Or just everyone.
Yeah, like everyone. Both of the two sirs are... yeah, we'll be off camera for today. You'll see... So if I just go a bit of a background of... you know, where we're at. You've all found yourselves one way or another trapped in a dread domain, a prison world. It's a city. It always is either raining, and when it's not, there's strong cloud cover and tendrils of mist. The whole city is surrounded in walls. You've seen. You've tried to climb or levitate up them, and as you've gone higher and higher, the storms have gotten more and more wild, and you've started to succumb to some sort of energy draining, you know, causing you to get exhausted. I think you gave up on that, never got to the top of the wall, or got to just within sight of it. I can't quite remember. That was you, Riddle. Some of you were drawn here for individual reasons, or got stuck here, but for the bulk of you, the adventuring group of you know, fiend hunters, ghost hunters, were pursuing a lost persons note from a duchess in a city within the realms that you're from, and coming out of this this residence, found yourself somehow trapped in the Baroness, the Duchess's mansion seems to exist in both realms. She couldn't tell you anything. She's housebound, and many strangers come to visit her, she says, and then they leave. But most importantly was her daughter's gone missing, and you've discovered over time that her daughter's been trying to sleuth something out, and you've sort of been following her tracks, maybe not in the same sequence that she's been moving around in, but at least trying to track her down. That's been your sort of primary motive, other than trying to find a way out and your own personal goals. I guess there's been a few encounters. You've gone to the broken prison and there encountered an enormous spider god being that dwelled within it. Fought it off, or it got bored of you and left. It ended up devouring one of you and carrying the poor mage of the party off into the sky above. It seems to run around on these tendrils of misty web that you can't see from below, so when you look up, but people say the spider is watching and sometimes it descends. That sort of rumours that you've heard. You left the prison and you've been to a bar which seems to be quite welcoming, and there are local residents there, and I think you might have even had a long rest at Cicero's bar. And now you've found your way from Cicero's, that there seems to be some sort of shortcut between areas of the place, and one of the areas is the temple, now referred to as the Temple of the Gaunt Silhouette. You don't know what gods it was venerating before, but that seems to have been completely destroyed, so much so that each of the areas is in its own little pocket dimension, and you're using this place called the infinite stair as a way. It's just always goes up or down. It's only just one staircase, but you can use that if you have the strength of will, I guess is what Ashtar and would like to call it, but with your own
strength of will or denial of intelligence, either way.
That's right. Yeah, it's almost a measure of what is it? Not gullibility, but you need to roll better your own intelligence as a target score with your charisma. And if you can do that, you can open the door, peel back the veil and step through onto the stair, and then race up the stairs to find other exit points and doors, and jump off into other areas. And you've done that a few times, but it's quite demanding, and if you fail partially, badly, you can get kicked out back where you started, very exhausted. If you succeed pretty well, then you might squeeze through but take a bit of exhaustion from doing it. And when you've done it very well, you've been able to just easily slip through and pull everyone else through together. This is why everyone is so exhausted, because where we left off, you found your way to the relic room, the treasure room of this place, and you've got a whole host of artifacts that you found. However, when you tried to leave, there was it was so traumatic because you were already slightly exhausted from the attempt that everyone got kicked back out and you're sort of stuck here. Now I think we were doing a group roles for that, and we switched it to a single roll of whoever wanted to, just to simplify it and less dice rolls. But in so doing, that made it actually harder, and so we'll revert back to the standard way for now. But I guess this is where we're at. I should say there's this ghostly beholder who seems to be the caretaker of this temple, and is fastidious with cleanliness and has followed you around, escorting you. The place where you are now, you've searched this room and you've found an area of tracks. I think it was Ashtar at the time. You found an area of tracks where there's this sort of grime and dust on the treasure, so it's very easy to see. A fairly small set of human shoes had been walking across the treasure, and then somehow was accosted from behind by two other sets of footprints, dragged backwards, a couple of feet or so, and then all three footsteps vanish. And I think that's where we left off, and you were deciding what to do from there. I guess I'll throw it over to you all as to what you want to do.
What? Sleep. What do we want to do?
In the meantime, I'll move the others that are sort of waiting in the wings just out of the camera shot so that I can see the focus of the group for today.
So, just quickly, because I missed last session, unfortunately.
Sure.
Is that oval with the number? That's our exhaustion.
Yeah, the face with the squinty eyes, the sort of sleeping face, is the exhaustion.
Okay, cool. Then Riddle would definitely be voting for a nap.
Yep.
Surprise!
You've had 2 naps so far to try and recover, and you got some.
Yeah.
And what happened was there was a very bad fail, and because if you're slightly exhausted, your attempts to try and pull the veil are at disadvantage. So there's a sort of cumulative factor, and it sort of started to spiral out of control. So much so that because you had 2 bad fails, if you tried again, you might get to the point where you died of exhaustion. And you're at that point.
Yeah, I don't want to die.
Yeah. So
No, it's definitely not on my list of things to do today.
So do you want to just continue on with this, taking another long rest and hang out here?
I think if we think it's safe to do so, I think that's a good idea. I mean, I'm a exhaustion, so I now have disadvantage on everything.
Yes.
So that's pretty rough, especially for the next trying to push through this thing. We're gonna just accumulate more and more, and it's gonna get more difficult unless we get rid of some exhaustion.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know what else we can do.
We could learn how to control the gadget, but that's just in between waiting for the next long rest. What?
Yes.
Which gadget?
One of the treasures that you found in this place, a relic, is a robot type thing that you can drive and sit inside and seal up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was just thinking, like, last long rest. Part of that was Ashtar teaching everyone roughly how to
Yeah.
how to use it. But I just realised that Riddle wasn't here, so
Yeah.
ignore me. Yeah. I would have said that probably everyone has at least basic understanding of how to use it now, but we can do practice for sure. I mean, it's like driving a car, right?
Yep.
You don't get it the first time, you know, you're going to do some bunny hopping with this thing, and it's really great.
You've got to rack up the logbook.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Okay.
you've got to have a supervisor with you at all times with the second break, just as an emergency.
Well, you've got plenty of time on your hands, so let's just assume that you're whiling. If you want to do anything else while you're taking this long rest, the effective long rest is 1 per day. So, you know, you've got a lot of time to hang out here.
Yeah.
Now, one of the times while you're all choosing to have your sleep, let me see. I might just run through briefly the treasures that you've found.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if Riddle can use a staff, I have a staff. If Riddle...
Ah, yes.
Stuff?
The staff...
Yeah,
would
in our downtime, when if it doesn't affect my resting anyway, I just want to sort of contemplate the room again, just in case there's something we missed.
Yes.
Since we're here,
Okay. So you can...
but only if it doesn't interfere with my resting. Like, if I'm so exhausted that I need to rest the whole time, I'm cool with that too.
No, that's just taking the long rest during the course of that day is enough. So you can even spend the day doing activity. So I'll quickly run through...
Yeah. Cool. Go. Sorry.
I'll quickly run through those items. So you found a small topaz statuette of a woman in prayer. However, and there's a hand on her shoulder, as if there was a second statue once attached. It's snapped off. And while you're holding the statue, you're immune to fear. Let's say not necessarily holding, but bearing. So carrying would be enough. Doesn't require attunement. You found a long spinal cord, which has been threaded onto a staff called the Staff of 9 Lives. And this is one where you can expend charges on it. I think it's in the chat there, isn't it?
Yeah, I just sent it in the chat.
Yeah, so you can do Death Ward or Revivify, and it recovers 1 charge each day. So that's the staff I think that we're talking about. You found and destroyed a leash's phylactery. Have no idea where the leash is or whether there was anything in there, but you managed to anti-magic shell, and there was a whole palaver of how you were going to try and destroy this thing. You managed to do it. An iron flask, I believe, and you know that is occupied by something. You don't know what's in it. This is an iron flask where you unstopper it and you can try and suck things into it, or if you then unstopper them, they can come out. Currently occupied. The next item was the apparatus of Qualish, which is the vehicle which Ashtar's been assembling with an Allen key, and I think that was it.
Just the one Allen key.
Yeah, you just got one little Allen key. Yeah.
It's been a while.
Okay. You take your rest and are beset by nightmares once again. The downside of taking rest, you don't want to just and you've found through your travels through this city that madness is a common thing. The locals are a bit more resilient to it, but especially for newcomers, they can really struggle and fall prey easily to the nightmares of this place. And so what I need everyone to do is roll a saving throw, this time versus wisdom. We won't We won't count any
Yeah.
Now, okay, Aloran has a 22.
Oh.
Okay, I'm just
Oh dear.
I'm just moving your tokens around for you so we can form two orderly queues of who is insane and who is not. Ashtar. Uh-oh.
Yeah, just, just shuffle us over to the dead pile.
Yeah, okay. How about you, Riddle?
Yeah.
Where are you? I can't see
Riddler
you.
22.
22, okay. So you're off with Coriella in the cool gang and poor
Oh,
Alora. Oh, have I got them mixed up here? Oh, Alora, you're in the... Oh, right, sorry. There we are. Now, I need someone to roll for this gibbering, vaguely crow-shaped octopus here.
I guess I can do that.
It's not me.
Oh no!
Oh, okay.
Oh no!
Oh no!
So,
I was about to say, I've got a +8 on wisdom save. Do you want me to do it? But someone got it first.
so
I mean,
Criella...
it's
was
like
it
familiar,
a
so I
straight
guess.
roll or was it? Yeah, okay.
Criella...
Oh wait, yeah.
What's
I
that?
mean, it's still 2.
Still 2, it doesn't matter.
Criella has a familiar, which
It's meant to be a hawk.
She summoned her hawk, thinking that was what was going to turn up, and it came and took the form of this eldritch mini horror. It still has its own will, and so will gladly go and sit on your shoulder, Criella. However, it's also currently wigging out. It has no madness. I'm just going to have to adjust madness levels for now. Bit of logistics, it's a pain in the bum, but what are we using? This little screaming symbol.
It's appropriate.
Yeah. I can't find it. Where is it? First row, second row. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's my fault. So, did you roll a natural one, or what did you actually roll there?
2.
2. Okay, all right. That's right. You don't get 2 madness levels. Okay. And it was Criella going up to 2 madness levels. And Ashtar. You've had madness in the past, but it was cured through high-powered magic, so
Yeah,
you're at 1.
I got cured twice.
Yes, okay. So, does this little crow-like horror have a name?
Wild.
Wild, good. I'll do that right now so that we can see. Okay, can Wild roll a D... getting there. D4 for me. Tell me what you roll, call it out.
2.
A 2. Okay. So it wakes up and then it starts sort of spitting and hissing at you, Criella. And while it's got many eyes, they're sort of looking, it's giving you the 100-eye side eye, and then sort of starts strolling around the place, getting ready for whatever it's going to eat, pecking at things, slurping on them, and generally spends probably 10 minutes or so cursing you out. Criella, can you do a roll for me? It's a short-term thing, and you're now and your familiar is now on the edge, but it's, it wears off after a time and you come around. It's just you're woken up by a particularly angry sort of dream. How did you go, Criella? What do I need?
D4.
Sorry. Yes, D4.
1.
Okay, no problem. You wake up and there's no observable effect for now.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, that's always a bit scary, isn't it?
Ashtar, can you roll one for me? You'll probably do the same thing as last time. We'll see.
Was it a D4?
Yes, please.
Yeah. It's a 2.
Okay. And you do the same thing. This has happened a few times. You wake up and similar to Wild. You wake up and we won't go through what you're going to say and so on this time. We've done it a few times already, but you just wake up angry with everyone. Not so much that it would turn to violence,
Yeah.
but extremely surly, and that you've got nothing good to say. I think the party's almost come to terms with that sometimes you just have to ignore your friends for the first 30 minutes or so of waking from a rest.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Everyone's cranky in the morning. Let's just leave it.
Yeah. But it subsides
Yeah.
after a while, and now the bigger problem is while it subsides, you're now close to the edge, if you know what I mean, and things might degrade over time. However, at the end of that time, you can all take 1 level of exhaustion off.
Yes.
Oh,
And you should be able to do that yourselves. Crank your 3s and 4s down to 2s.
Yep. Do you know where that is in D&D Beyond?
Oh, no,
Riddle?
just on your token is what I mean. You can keep track.
Yeah, I just like doing it. I like doing it in D&D Beyond as well because then it automatically does the disadvantage for you
Oh, I see. Yeah. I'm not sure.
when you do rolls. But I mean, it's no big deal.
I'll adjust the tokens while you're doing that.
oh. I think I've just done some.
I'll hover over it, hover over the token, and then just type 2 while you've got your mouse over the right token, or 1, or whatever you're on. I think Coriella, you're on 2.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and Aloran and Riddle, you can both reduce your exhaustions. I'll do that for you if you like. So you're on 2. Now, we might try and fast track this a little bit. The main thing is, how mad are you by the time you've gotten rid of your exhaustion? Do you want to try and open the veil now, or do you want to go for another rest and get that exhaustion down a little?
Well, would need it to go down to no exhaustion to not get disadvantage on that roll.
That's true.
So for me, it would have to be 2 more rests, not just 1.
Okay.
So it depends on what people think. I mean, 1's still good though, because even if we fail, then I'm only getting 1 back up. Like, you know what I mean? It still could be worth it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. So let's go for. Are you going to go for that? Another madness roll?
I think I would like to, and I vote yes, but
Okay.
I'm happy to leave it if
Yeah, I
others
feel
want
like
to
that would
continue
be
with that.
best.
Yeah.
3 yeses. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
You dream this day, while you're this night, during this rest, you all share the same dream, and you can share it when you wake up. But you're standing on a shore, and it's at night, and you're just looking across what seems to be a vast lake or water stretching off into the misty distance, and you're looking down at the pebble stones at your feet, and it's broken concrete, broken bricks and things going right up to the edge. So you know that the town or city or something footpath that you're on, it continues into the water, and you're just standing there looking, left and right and out to sea, although it's not ocean, it's not salty, and looking into this dark, slightly rippled water as it sort of laps against your feet. You see nothing, there's no creatures, but you just get this sense of dread. And with that, almost as if, like when the vampire jumps out at you or whatever, but nothing has jumped out at you, you've just woken up with a start, and you need to roll an intelligence saving throw.
I can do that one. And should I roll for the pair as well?
Yes, please, for wild. We've got a 20 and a 15.
Okay.
Can't we do wisdom again?
Ah.
Oops.
No wisdom.
Oh no.
I'll still take it.
Hey, natural 20. Okay. I'm seeing Criella.
I accidentally did.
Yeah, Criella, you're
Yeah, I accidentally did it a couple of times, but those low, but not once. So.
Yeah, okay. Right, so both Criella.
That's for the pet.
Yes.
That's yeah.
Yeah, and one for you as well. So, Criella, you wake up. Crikey. Oh, and by the way, I should say, let's see, that's okay. Can you roll a D4, please, for your familiar, for wild? What did you get? A 4. Okay. You're not too sure of what your familiar is, what's going on inside its head. But it's sort of looking at Riddle and Aloran both with a little animosity. Nothing too great, but and it only lasts for a few hours, and then it seems to come around again. But for you, can you roll a D6, Criella?
Ooh.
2. Okay, I'm just going to shift you into the cone of silence for a moment. Okay, can you hear me, Criella?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got an indefinite madness, and you've just, it's like a new trait, a new flaw. You believe that all of this, you haven't woken up from dreaming, you're dreaming now, and probably your dreams were perfectly fine, and this is all nothing to worry about. And so you don't really need to listen to what anyone has to say. You might choose to interact, but really it's all fun and games because nothing is real.
Yeah, so I think I'm in a dream.
You think you're in a dream, yeah.
Okay.
And you can interpret that however you like. It doesn't need to be as super disruptive for the group, but it can come out in subtle ways, and it could be very clear that you're thinking you're in a dream, but maybe you go along with it at least to some extent, but there's no way you would want to do anything that you wouldn't want to do. There's no need to, you're dreaming. Okay, we'll move back. Okay, for everyone, we are back. Krilla, you wake up.
Look around. And I bury myself in the gold on the ground. Just start like a child in like a ball pit, just throwing it in the air.
Riddle's gonna go, that looks like fun, and start copying.
Okay.
DM, just quickly,
Yep.
my hit points are still the same as from my previous session I played. Are we all up to max hit points after a couple of days, a couple of rests, or?
Yes. Yeah, assuming that you're all up to
Not a
full,
problem.
even over the last couple of, you've had 2 full rests anyway.
Not a problem. I just wanted to check before I
Yeah.
put it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
I've adjusted your madness levels on screen, so you'll see your tokens go down. I assume you're going to press on to have another one. Get rid of that last. Everyone on mute as well. I'll switch back.
Bonus.
So I can see the exhaustion levels lowering in the chat. Let's go for one more. In which case it'll.
Did I Did I pass that? Huh. Wow.
Yes, Ashtar did.
Hmm.
With your
Yay.
with your 14. Okay, so
Yeah.
one more night. So you've been 3 days here now.
I just want to point out, I'm gonna go. Really wants to go one up from just playing on the gold. She's start gonna using it to like make little forts and throw gold balls at people.
Right.
Seeing this Kriella copies that.
Okay, let's have everyone with, let's see, I'll roll my d6. Okay, so this is another intelligence saving throw.
I can do that.
Intelligence.
Kriella, you're in a happy place. You can take off one exhaustion level, go back to nothing. Ashtar, 18, do the same thing.
I slept well. No nightmares.
Yeah.
Sweet.
The second one's the
Oh,
Wild.
second one's, yep. Okay, cool. So Wild's got 1 level exhaustion still, but everyone else...
What? Sweet.
I'll get rid of it.
Sorry, I just realised I was mimicking the sounds of the dice.
Blip, blip.
Sorry. Yeah.
Lauren, you're back to fully operational. And Riddle, where are you? 18. Crikey, everyone passed. All right.
Sweet.
So all of your group, apart from Wild, who's a bit sluggish, are feeling fine, and managed to. While there were bad dreams, you don't remember them. And what do you want to do from here?
I guess we jump out, don't we?
Gotta get out of here.
Yeah. Now, Ashtar, are you, or for all of you, are you getting inside the apparatus and then trying to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have to, but I was... Because only 2 of us can fit, right?
Yeah, two of you can fit.
Well, I'm happy for whoever feels more like they might get hurt in the stairwell if something attacks us.
Mm.
I think that's best for those people to get in because I can take a bit of damage without worrying about it too much, and I'm worried about the people who have maybe less armor. Maybe they should go in the tank.
Mm.
Can we name it, by the way?
Definitely.
I want to name it. I want to give it some, like, I don't know.
Yeah, right now it is just apparatus. What do you want to call it?
Yeah, like Spike or something. Like a dog name. You know, I'm yeah, cool. I get to name it. I found it. I built it. It's mine.
All right. So, does that mean Eloran and Kriella in driving around in Spike?
Kriella does not want to get in Spike.
Okay.
When offered, Kriella just says, "No, I'll be fine."
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Riddle?
I guess Riddle would be kind of torn between wanting to ride in it and ride on it.
When you're in,
Just sit on it and go on top of it and going whee!
you can have the hatch open and you like a tank, and you can poke out the top and salute.
Like
things.
Oh,
Tank
yes.
Girl.
Yes.
You know, like, yeah, Tank Girl.
Yeah, exactly.
With the cigar as well. And the goggles, like, on top of your head.
Yes. I'll put them over my ears.
All right. So Riddle,
I just imagine your little like your helmet has like ear holes for your ears to come out, or spikes for your ears. Like, yeah. Cool.
And Eloran, you've got these portholes to look out, and you know from investigating it and testing it over the last few days, you can actually cast spells at things through these portholes. It's a physical barrier, so things that travel from you to there that would hit something we just have to try and play it by ear, would be blocked. But while you're in this thing, you also have full cover.
Can it climb on the walls?
It. That's would be interesting.
You know.
This is getting better and better.
Just make up more on the spot. Doesn't matter, it's your rule.
Spider spike. Spider spike.
I'm just checking its movement rate too. I think it was just still 30. Okay, so while you're in this thing, it can go at half speed up walls, so long as it can get a firm grip.
Define are the walls in this room tiled?
Yeah. The walls in this room are sort of stone blocks. Remember these?
And any kind of texture to what the stairs are?
Yeah. It's all temple stuff. Oh no, the stairs are different. The stairs are marble.
I don't think I knew that. Anyway, so it looks okay on the concrete, but slippery stone, maybe not.
Oh, slippery stone might be fine too. All the legs are sharp spikes, so it would like Spider-Man when he's got his legs out.
Awesome. Then yeah.
We're
good to go.
Okay. While you're inside this thing, Riddle and Lauren, you've got a ablative armor to the tune of armor class 20, 200 hit points. It's immune to poison and psychic damage. Otherwise, it needs to be beat up and destroyed before they can crack it open.
Sniper is living in here.
Yeah. And it doesn't help. Riddle. The downside is that these portholes will block your Eldritch blasts. So you need
I'll sit up the top.
Yeah, you can be the gunner up the top. Yep, no worries.
I'm tank girl.
And this thing can swim too. You can retract the legs and switch the last two legs turn into like paddles, like a gondola, and they'll sort of flap to side like a dolphin flukes, and it'll travel underwater as well. Not super fast. It's basically a round ball of metal, but yep, okay. So we've established it can go on walls and ceilings even, as long as it can get a firm grip. When I say firm grip, I mean on, I don't know, mud or stuff like that. It's not like a magical spider climb type thing.
Yeah, like it's physics, not magic.
Yeah,
right?
Yep. So it's got a climbing speed. Put it that way.
Cool.
All right. So we're gonna part the veil.
Hell out of here.
Yes, we're gonna try.
There'll be the four of you. Wild will probably not be great at it, but so for the four of you, you need to. We need 3 checks. That we'll do one at a time. The first one. So you're rolling a charisma roll. It's not a saving throw. And the target number is your own intelligence.
Cool.
Oh no.
I'm sad.
I'm good at this.
All the people with low intelligence are high-fiving each other.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, hey.
Oh no.
18 charisma and 10 intelligence. This was made for me, people.
18 intelligence and 14 charisma.
All right.
Oh.
True to form, Ashtar passes with
Oh.
16. Criella fails.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Riddle, how about you?
Well, I beat my intelligence of 10.
Okay, all right. And Lauren?
17.
Yeah, but what's
Which on my intelligence is 11, so yeah. I passed.
So we've got 3 passes, 1 fail. So basically, what we've got is all 4 of you collectively huddle up and form a little bit of a psychic scrum, and you're pulling each other through. And the fact that Criella is struggling, the other 3 of you, so long as half or more of you pass, are helping to pull all of you through as a group. Let's do it again.
Yes, come on.
Oh, we've got a 10. That is a pass, Criella.
Natural
We've got a 10 from Ashtar. That's a pass.
It's just a pass, yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat some humble pie here.
Okay, Aloran, we're waiting on you, I think. Oh, and a 23.
Ooh,
That was lucky
Jesus.
because
You could just drag the world through with that roll.
Plus
Yeah.
7?
Yeah.
you got a 23, and luckily
7.
because Riddle rolled a natural 1, and not only are they struggling to like help her along, but she's actively pulling against it, like recoiling, and a 1 would count as 2 fails. But
Yeah, I was going to
very
say
good.
that's
That's
2
2
fails.
successes now, and you can see the other side of the tunnel. The light is coming. One more.
The chance
Yes,
that
do it
happens
again.
Oh, Criella, an 8. Riddle, 15.
Ooh, I got a nat 20.
Nat 20, boom. All right,
Yes.
you're all through regardless because
Does that count as 2 passes?
counts as 2 passes.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm really good at the stuff that requires me to be dumb.
Oh, nice.
okay. So that's 3 passes, 2 fails, and with Ashtar and Riddle picking up the pace and pulling you all through. Now, I'm going to grab it.
Sigh of relief that we're not all
Massive.
more exhausted. We're going to do
I
it
mean-
again as soon as we get through though.
It's only we have to. Can we talk through this thing? I'm assuming we can talk through this thing.
Yeah, sound will travel through.
Up or down, and we need to move
There's an
really
intercom.
quickly. Intercom. That's fantastic. Are we going up or down?
Over. I know that's not.
That sounds really. Oh gosh.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, I totally missed it too.
Okay,
So we're going up, right?
you appear on the landing, mist beneath, all up and down the tunnel. It's dark, marble staircase. As you say, it spirals along the inside of some sort of strange tower. Do you go up or down?
Yeah.
You've been coming from below, and you've always
Yeah,
been
same plan as before.
traveling up so
Yeah.
far. One thing that's odd about
But
this,
space is in this place though, so it probably doesn't matter. It's more about our thinking that we're going up being our destination. Like, right? It's more malleable and about thought.
you've gone up, and you've actually passed
So
the
it's
same.
kind of just a visual representation.
Yeah, you've passed the same door twice.
Yeah.
So what you sort of did was you've gone up it. I don't know why I'm gesturing at the camera here, but you've gone up, and then it's sort of done a full loop, and you've actually gone down, even though you thought you were going up. But then past that point, you carry on.
Yeah.
I can show you a representation of that when we move. Oh,
Yeah.
how soon? Which way are you going, and how soon?
I think we should have the same plan kind of that we had before, where we just rush to the next landing. I think up, because it feels like that's like where we should be going.
And if it feels safer, we'll make it safer, right?
Yeah, think happy thoughts.
Think happy thoughts. That's exactly right.
Sure.
Sorry, we worked out the hollow of the staircase is the central staircase is hollow, so you can get up and down. So hypothetically, if you fly. So what I might do if someone's willing to hold a rope is I'll put a rope around my waist, jump out towards the middle, and hit levitate, and have a quick peek and explore up.
Well, I was just gonna fly straight up the middle because I've got wings.
Okay, you win. Off you go.
Yeah.
Frail just kind of swoops down and then flies straight up. So.
Okay.
How about you hold this rope and she flies off, Bella flies off. We'll go with that plan. That plan works.
Okay. You fly up the middle.
So
Yeah.
Ashtar, what are you doing?
I am staring momentarily at Creola, going, whoa, that was an option? Ah, cool. And then running.
Okay. spiraling up. So you
Oh,
appear on the
he's
landing.
very good for shinies.
A dash
Yeah,
over
I'm
two,
just
a
sprinting
dash
to the
over sort of
landing.
2 rounds is enough to get you up there. And
Yeah.
you find Cruella on that landing. Now the landing continues higher up beyond, and you hear this as this crab-like thing with riddle at the top comes up to you. Now I'm just going to give you there's a bit of a decision point here, whether you get out, whether you come to a landing and whether you see a door.
Do we push through here? We could ask our beholder friend. Didn't he have some sense of where we were going? Or was that just before into that one room?
Yes, and he came through with you, and he's now on the landing too, and he's sort of floating up the middle as well. And you can
You might have a suggestion.
have a look on your diagram that you can see here. If I sort of, you can see where you started in Cicero's. You went. If I can use the to draw your attention to the Cicero's doorway down here. You went past an orange glowing doorway and raced up further just to keep on investigating. You went through a series of doors that all seemed alike, and they seemed to all be temple, structures. The first one had an insane angel in it. The next one, and the next one had a ghostly beholder, and you went to a flooded room, and then you went up higher and came back past the same door that went to the ghostly beholder room. You didn't go through it. You kept on going further, past another door that was also a statue, a temple-looking door. That's this, where is it? This sort of door with the light coming underneath. And then you ended up at this door where the relics are. So if I now move you, travelling along, you can see this trajectory. You should all see the swirl. That's actually the party token. Everyone has access to move and operate that.
Cool. Yeah, so does everyone want to try push through here at this landing?
This is the door that you see.
Ooh. Is it as ominous in... Yeah. Is it a red door? Because if it looks, if it feels red...
It does. It does. The doors are... I've tried to find doors that are a close match to the...
Okay. I mean, maybe it's dangerous and red because that's where we need to go. But...
No, red's a lucky colour. Let's go through.
I should say this has taken you 2 rounds to get here with the dash for all of you, and you know from experience that you don't need to collectively huddle and all that. You can sort of just it's much more like stepping through the strips, the dangly beads in the fish and chip shop to get back out of the stairs.
Man.
It's just harder to get in.
But I liked when we were all holding hands, so it was all just a... it made me feel better.
Riddle leans out of Spike and kind of holds out a hand. I'll hold your hand. She's not getting out though.
You pause for a round and just decide and collectively look to each other to whether you continue up or whether you go through this door. The stairs do continue up south in the case of this map that you're on. Well, it's not a map, if you know what I mean. But you can hear flapping of wings below you. Coming from down the stairs.
Oh. Yeah, that's a scary sound. Let's push through. Everyone? Yes?
It all looks good.
Yeah, this is good. The unknown is better than the scary known.
Okay.
Looking down the stairs.
For me, anyway.
Yep. All right, so everyone starts to gather up. I think, was it Cruella? Just, has a gander, looks off the edge. and you cannot see a creature. You can see
That thing killed our old friend.
a globe.
Please be careful.
There's a globe of that. There is just this void of darkness coming from beneath. Impenetrable. Are you all gathering together and stepping through as a posse?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Then we all arrive at the same time and are more likely to arrive at the same location.
Okay.
Cool.
Does the can we carry everybody on the spike? Can Spike carry everybody?
No, it can only carry two people.
Right. Oh, that's on the inside, but just what about on the outside?
Oh, yes, it's still pretty small, but if people want to ride on top of it, it would just start to slow it down, start to get weighed down.
That's fair. Just checking.
Yeah.
Future reference.
Yes.
If ever we need to like desperately climb somewhere, maybe we can all like attach ourselves to the...
Yeah. Or just something.
Ooh, this looks interesting. What's this?
Okay, you should see, and you arrive, you come out, and suddenly you feel this drizzle on your head.
Wait.
Like it's raining.
Yeah, and you looking up above, and you can feel that you are back in Elysium once again.
No way.
Yeah.
Not the rain.
That means we found a new door. Sure. It's alright, you're inside the oh no, you're not, are you?
Riddle pulls out a shield and is holding it overhead like a hat again.
Do we
Rayla
recognize-
feeling the rain.
Go on.
Rayla feeling the rain on her face flies straight up into the air. And just kind of
Oh.
starts flying around.
Do we recognize? Does Lauren recognize what part of the city we've landed in?
Interesting. Let's just have a look. Can you roll a investigation for me? That will be
I
Criella.
was wondering if there are any sounds.
Rayla?
Yeah, Criella. You're
Yeah.
the one that might have been to this area, but the
Um,
rest of the party hasn't yet. It's just
You're also in the air. You can go look around.
I also have a +10 on investigation, which is useful.
That's very good.
How'd you go?
22.
All right. You haven't been here before. However, looking, let's see. You do recognise a landmark that you might have heard of before. There seems to be some sort of statue nearby, just in the street. And
This one right in front of us?
well, that's let's just call that representative of it. Yep. And it seems it's rubble. You know, a lot of the places around here are a ruin, but there seems to be carved lovingly into the rubble. There's this roadside shrine, and there's a bit of a shelter from a floor of a building that's since collapsed, but there's probably a bit of roof still providing some shelter. And this shrine is surrounded by a small garden that blooms despite there being no sun, and despite it constantly raining, threatening to drown it. The shrine is painted red, and it depicts a lady clad in armour, and she's looking to the horizon. She's holding a single candle, as if it alone can hold back the darkness.
Is it like a lightable, like, is it just a stone candle?
Yeah, it's more like a statue that's been carved into the rock.
Yeah, okay.
It's 3D and everything.
Yeah.
With your investigation, it looks like this candle, while it's stone, has seen some heat.
How big is the, like, would I be able to land on the, like the torch of it?
What do you mean? On top of the statue itself?
Yeah.
It's about the same size as a regular person, so I guess so. It's
Okay.
stone.
Yeah.
But you get a good feeling from the statue and from this place in general. And you've heard of people standing vigil, standing vigil for the night by the Red Lady for strengthening of will. It looks like there's a bit of an area in front of it that, from the sound of things, you can hear the rain is starting to abate somewhat, just turning into a bit of a drizzle, and it's starting to get dark.
Is there any kind of vantage point, like a window or a door or some way for Lauren to get his bearings within the city?
Yeah, so you could sort of just have a look around. Let's see. I can give you a bit of an idea of where you are in the city. Let's see, I'll just shift us all back to the main map. You should see that coming up now on your screen. It's got the Bridge to Nowhere, the Great Library, the Broken Prison, you know, the Crooked House and everything. And I'll put a dot for you. You're on the far western side. And I'll put in some text there for you.
Getting armor or fixing something. I seem to remember needing a blacksmith.
You saw?
Yeah, there was a sword. There was a sword.
Do we care about the
Needed.
sword?
Oh no, I think my armor got repaired, but the sword didn't yet. We needed to pick the sword up the next day or in half an hour or something, and we...
Yeah, that was Sir Lottel's scimitar, and
That's right.
he was okay with his axe. The scimitar is more his just favourite weapon, but the axe is just as good for him as far as effectiveness. So this is where you are here in the Shrine to the Red Lady. Kriela, you've heard of people sort of not praying as such, but resting here a while and receiving the benefit of her blessing.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Does anyone have anything they need to try to like pick up or find before we like continue trying to pursue leads on where this girl might be? We could ask questions, maybe.
You said it's starting to get dark, so
It is.
there's a couple of, I mean, is it too late? It would be too late to go to the auction house, I assume.
Yeah, the auction house is a daily event, so you could head around there at first light, I suppose. Or go and camp out there like groupies, line up.
Yeah.
The line to in and out was crazy. Anyway.
Yeah. Cicero's is just to the north as well.
And that up north, New Cicero's is where Sir the Salafel's weapon is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's yeah.
I think for the purposes of Solotl and Sir Cor, let's assume that they say, yep, well, let's catch up and decide where to meet up. We'll race off and get my scimitar. That gives them
Thing to do.
an explanation for why they're off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I don't know about you, but I would like just to walk around. I feel like we've been cooped up in a, creepy staircase and, creepier places. It's fresh air. We kind of know where the auction house is. We could make our way there. Well, it's better than. It feels better. But anyway, but I'm open to options.
Well, we can walk around and just get a bit more of a sense of the
Place.
other places if you want. Yeah.
Okay.
Just kind of sense the cityscape in the same way that we've done previously to
Which way do you want to go?
find soft places. Do you want to sort of go toward where we would have to be for the
Did we ever get to the Great Library? We were on our way there when we stopped at Cicero's and found the stairway.
Yeah. The other.
I found him, I accidentally pushed us all through.
Yeah.
We had the library, we had the auction house, we had Sheeran's bookstore, and we had the blacksmith. So they were.
Would you like to go head toward the Great Library then?
I was thinking it would at least be a direction to wander to.
Yeah, great idea.
We're still wandering aimlessly, but directionally.
Directionally, aimlessly. Love it.
Yeah.
All right. And are you going through the main street, like down this sort of, see whether there's a main street down here?
Yeah.
Or sort of wending your way through the houses and things along the trying to make your way along the shore?
I mean, I always love street food, so, it's getting to looks like that time. But I'm also assuming that a place like this would have street food.
Okay. Someone, a teenager, sort of rushes past you with an oilskin cloak, carrying something, barefoot, splashing through the puddles. You've seen a few lights in windows, but the windows are shuttered, so it's just a sliver of light poking through them. When you get to around this point here where you are now, you hear some sounds from a squat, ugly house. It's sturdy, it's fairly small, but you hear some screams coming out. Human screams, and then you hear this sort of braying sound.
Like a donkey?
Yeah. And then whip cracks muffled. Whip cracks muffled. There's this strike of lightning and above, and it cracks and it hits the house itself, showing you that there's this tall spire of metal with a ball on the end above the house.
Riella walks up to the house.
Okay. The lightning flashes again, and it lights up a sign that you hadn't seen previously. It's night, remember. It wouldn't have shown up even with dark vision very well, given the weather. And it seems like it's some sort of shop. And it's called Dr. Zakari's Augmentations and Improvements.
Oh. Riella walks it, like, tries the door.
Okay. Let's see. Yes, it opens.
You go over. Not really caring about what the rest of the group's doing, just
This is Criella, right?
in our own world. Yeah.
Okay. And for the rest of you, Criella has been strangely flippant, not really more curious than concerned about everything that's going on up to now. Almost like a tourist recently arrived. Let's see. Okay, you enter the house, and there's a desk. It's very small, almost like a cottage. There's a desk, some hooks on the wall, and stairs descending. There's a trapdoor and it's open, a huge one, like 5 foot wide. One you just sort of lift up like a barn door, and it would go. Doof.
No one in there?
No one in there. There's a couple of coats for outdoor wear, wet oilskin cloaks hanging on the wall. 2 of them. And you can hear this braying and then something crying out in pain from the stairs going down.
Riella walks down the stairs. Keep strolling through.
Okay. Everyone else, checking what you're doing. You see Criella go over and open the door and have a look, and then go in.
Is there anybody on the street?
No, well there was that teenager from before dashing past you in the rain, and
Did it make any kind of reaction to the fact that we're in a crawling spider?
Had the hood down and sprinted past you.
Right.
Didn't really pay you any heed.
Gotcha. I mean, we could just leave it here, or are we gonna go in?
Park it.
Does it have a self-securing system? Or?
It took once the door's closed, it's very difficult to open. So it takes a DC 20 investigation check to find it. It's like a Tesla door handle. No one can open the doors.
Excellent. So, should we follow her?
Wriggles like halfway through the door.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. All right.
And Lauren will hop out.
Okay, I'm going to move us to another map. Dr. Zakari's lab.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
Okay, I think this is everyone. Who am I missing? Ashtar. Just one, bear with me for a sec. I have to go back and grab you. Right. So you go down these stairs, and they go down a fair way. Oh, come on, Ashtar. Oh, there you are. Good. Okay, I'll just make sure everyone's in a square. I think it was, whoops, sorry, Lauren, I just spun you around. And you can hear or some sort of braying sound.
Hmm.
And you're at the end of the passage, and then you can
Like
see
a donkey.
doors beyond. And at this point, you can hear a voice. Clara, you know when you're in the heat of the moment and you just think you know what I... Yes. I think I'll just add some fire glands here, and what do you think? We'll see how it goes.
So we've entered the house. Can we see Criella?
Yes, you can. And you should see on screen here now.
Yeah.
What do we see beyond?
Oh, Criella's now at a door. You've gone down, and Riddle and Ashtar and Aloran are behind Criella, following up closely behind.
Okay. Cool.
You're deep underground, maybe a couple of stories.
Does the door have like a keyhole that Crayola can try and look through?
No. It's one of those
Okay.
ones where there's a big ring, and you would turn it, and it would like lift a bar or latch or something up.
Crayola just opens the door.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, Criella, you
What
open the
is she
door.
doing? Okay.
Latch it, and it swings wide, revealing a large room beyond. There are tables. It looks like there's creatures have been cut up and stitched back together again.
Dear.
There's clear tubes and
A
metal
lot of
boxes.
blood.
There's a bit of lights flashing everywhere, and quite a bit of debris on the ground from creatures.
Criella, why are we here?
I don't know. Your name sounded
You don't know,
interesting.
you just decided to come in a random place and it happens to be covered in gore and blood and weird hybrid creatures.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. I mean, oh, okay.
A door at the end opens.
Okay. Okay.
And a woman
I don't know what to think.
strides out. I don't know if you can see her here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little token.
She seems to be in some sort of like a nurse's outfit, a traditional nurse's outfit. I'll blow it up so that you can see.
Whoa.
Including
Is she like
the hole in her chest?
She
Yeah,
does,
like,
she
what
does
is
seem to
that?
have a few augmentations, and she looks oddly sort of elven of some sort, but more exotic. If anyone wants to roll a nature or arcana to trigger the race, they can.
I can do that.
Yeah, it's not really my specialty, so I'll allow other people to take that.
Okay.
13.
You think that this is one of the races native to the Feywild, Criella, and Eladrin. They're beautiful, enigmatic, almost the lifespan is millennia, and she sort of strides catwalk style, sort of stepping over the offal, and says, "Hello.
Hello.
Have you come for an augmentation? I'm sorry, Dr. Zakari's very busy right now.
What's he doing?
He's working on a new project. But if you would like, I could note down anything that you're looking to, and she sort of looks you up and down, enhance. Maybe a couple of enhancements are in need, then I can look to book you in."
What do you mean by enhancements?
Well, we
I don't
Dr. Zakari's a genius.
look around.
Sometimes people bring even their recently deceased, and he returns them to life. That spark from the heavens.
I see.
He definitely sounds like something we should have a consult with. Let's see what our options are.
Oh my god, we have to bring Sir Petrus back here. He'll freaking love it.
Oh, yes. Good thing he's at the Good thing he's at the blacksmith, right? That's sorting.
Yeah, check out that scimitar.
Yeah. Take your time at the blacksmith, guys.
She's not this big, obviously. I'm just doing this for the purposes of the discussion.
Yeah. No, she's not that big.
Yeah, attack of the 50-foot nurse. We'll leave that. We'll leave that for the anime. So.
Yeah, the fan art will be great.
Just inquiring then.
Do you have a price list?
I'm happy to step back on this one. I'm gonna just not even really go past the threshold.
Okay, no worries.
I
There's
think...
no price list. This is a place of research, not a business.
Oh, so you would do her enhancements for free?
So they're experimenting, is what she's saying. Do you want to be experimented on?
This is for the advancement of science, and you would get a free augmentation.
Exactly.
Right.
And how often do these...
As long as you document all the side effects.
Yeah. Here, come in. I'll show you.
Oh, I'm not going in.
Oh,
I'm not going in.
really
That
follow.
room.
Everyone's coming too.
Okay, you can move yourselves. Creela, you can see. She says this is where we put most of our castings. Some people seem to... they don't like their new state, and they wander off into the streets, but... Such is the price of research.
Nope.
Very interesting.
Is Creela's interest does it seem genuine?
Yeah.
Riddle, you're right there, and it's almost as if Creela's not really caring either way, but is intrigued. Come. And she sort of, she does that walk where her feet cross over like a model.
So Clara, what kind of augmentations is the doctor focusing on at the moment? Does he have a specialty?
Well, we're trying to get... Well, I have to say I'm a novice. I'm just learning. It's only been a short time that I've been with with the genius, Dr. Zakari, but we're trying to get to the point where we can help people to see in the dark. It's a very dark place, this city, and perhaps if we can help them to navigate the night. Come, please ignore these failed experiments here.
Yeah. I have to say that's not an issue I've had since coming here.
Yeah. The rest of you would know that Riddle has devil sight and sees through darkness better than she sees through dim light.
But I can understand people wishing to be blessed like myself.
Does the nurse seem surprised that Riddle can see easily?
No, well, this room is all lit, so she would take note of it. And she says,
Hang on, I accidentally just draw a target on my back. For a mad scientist. What could possibly go wrong?
Okay, Ashtar and Aloran, you're on the threshold there, and you can see across the room, most likely, I think. It's lit. I don't know if you can see Cruella and Riddle anymore.
See Riddle.
Okay.
I can see Riddle.
Okay, Clara goes up to the door and gets just like with one knuckle. It says, knock, knock. Doctor, sorry to disturb. What is it? Can't you? I'm working. And she does the whole, forceful PA, I'm coming in anyway sort of thing, and opens it up.
Ella just starts walking through before she even...
Okay.
Riddle's going to look back at the others and do the double thumbs up. Yeah, it's going great!
Okay.
And then keep going.
Look at this. Dr. Zakari.
Double thumbs up. It's like two thumbs on one hand, though, right?
Ella's not even looking at the doctor yet.
Again, Dr. Zakari, I'm going to boom up so that you can see a little bit better. He's got a backpack with some sort of breather type thing and a lot of accessories. There's a lot of equipment in here that seems to be powered by electricity. There's bottled lightning and he's trying to... Oh, don't touch that! He talks to you, Riddle.
I just got visions of like Riddle's fur kind of doing that fuzzy thing when you walk past those electrified globes. It's just like being attracted to the electricity. So I'm puffball.
Ella's legs are also doing that.
Oh, look at this. Clara, what have you brought me? Two we don't see too often.
What in hearts are you offering?
A living fiend and a catfolk. Intriguing. Let me see. How do you do, miss? And he goes to shake hands.
I'll shake it back, but I'll do the two-hand grab. Hi, how are you doing?
Okay. He seems not so much to be looking at you, but looking at your paws, and he turns the hand over in his hand and goes, magnificent.
So I certainly think they are.
So
I'm trying to smooth down the hair.
Well, I'm halfway through something here. What brings you to the lab?
Wondered what it was.
Yeah, we heard a bit of a ruckus and we thought we'd come have a look and find out you do augmentation. We just want to see what's your specialty, what you do. Perhaps we'd be interested.
The creature on the table is most likely human. Looks to be dead and has two big glands stitched to its top of its head.
This whole place is just body horror.
Rail's walked up close and just looking at the body and goes to poke one of the glands.
Okay. He says, Don't touch it.
He touches it.
Okay. Can you do a saving throw for me?
Or what saving throw?
Oh, sorry, a dexterity saving throw. An arc of lightning jumps out at you.
14.
Ooh, okay. You take a zap and take 30 damage from a jolt of electricity. He says, I told you not to get too close. You're quite resilient. You might be... He starts to come around to you, Criella. You look like a prime candidate.
I was just looking around the room, not paying much attention to him.
So what do you do?
Not much.
What do you want to do that you can't?
What have you got?
Well, I'd like to know your wishes. And Clara says, yes, we take the approach of not trying to impress our desires upon those.
Riddle wants to stand behind Criella and go, oh, there's nothing much I'd be interested in. At the same time, pointing to the wings, going, I want these!
Yes, okay. Well, we can see what we'll do. I'll tell you what, if, how can we contact you?
We've been regular at Cicero's.
Well, I'll send a message to Cicero's if we come across some wings. If you happen to find some, come to me and bring them to me. Fresh is preferred, and we'll see what we can do.
I'll keep that in mind. Your assistant Clara also mentioned your affinity for bringing those that are dead back to life. Is this a service you regularly offer?
Well, we're still working on it, but it's a work in progress.
Understandable. I've got a friend who would just love all your work here.
We're very passionate about our work here, but it's very much pure research. And you get a gist that he's just concealing or just a little bit, indicating that it's a very low percentage success rate. He says, anyway, I need to get back to my business here. If you come across some wings, bring the wings, and we'll see what we can do.
No problem. And if there's anything we can do to help, let us know. We might be in the business to help each other. And I'll do a light bow.
And he's sort of side-eyeing Criella's wings.
What are you looking at?
Magnificent.
Thank you. I grew them myself.
Are these quite effective? How fast can you fly with these?
Oh, pretty fast. About as fast as I can run.
So I'm thinking, if we got rid of those legs, that would lighten you and you'd probably fly faster. Do you need the legs, or can you just fly everywhere? We think outside the box down here.
I mean, how practical would it be not having legs?
Well, you could just shuffle around on your stump and then fly when you need to, faster than ever. Clara, what do you say? Well, she would be lighter.
See.
And we could use the legs in other things.
Can I talk to you in the cone of silence for a second? Just about the...
Alright. We are in the cone of silence.
Would Criella be, like, willing to mention that it's a dream? Like, she thinks she's in a dream?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
you know, you see people like in movies and things going, "Oh, this is just a dream. It's just a dream. I don't care."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she thinks, presumably she thinks she's the main character because it's
Yeah.
her dream.
Yeah. But
Okay.
it doesn't necessarily mean you volunteer for stuff that you normally wouldn't want to do. It might still creep you out
Yeah.
or whatnot.
Yeah.
But you've also got the fallback that you can always just wake up.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, back. Where were we? Cruella and Riddle.
How much faster do you reckon you could fly without these? She's kind of eyeing her goat legs. Just
Yes. Yeah, and Clara looks a little bit pouty, and her brow furrows, and she says, "We don't have as much need for the hooves. They don't quite get the grip."
yeah, I've noticed that.
But there's always from the ankle to the pelvis. There's this other crack of lightning, and you can and the body that's next to Riddle just jumps and then spasms, and he goes, we have it. Anyway, Clara, see these two out, get them to make an appointment because I'm very busy right now. But yes, very interested, both of you.
Yes, we shall let
I
you
might
know.
be in touch.
Okay.
You can clearly see your research is shocking.
And Clara, the rest of the other two of you see Riddle and Cruella escorted by Clara back to the door. She gives you both a business card and says, "Come by any time, but really, just knock on the door and I can come and we'll make you an appointment though."
Okay.
Go back to the others and I'm going to go, well, he's a lovely man. He's going to get me wings. He's going to get Cruella drunk. You know. At least that's what I think he said. It's going to make her legless. All good things.
Oh, that's what he meant. I thought he meant more physically. Like
Did he?
this.
Maybe.
Okay, I'm going to mark up on here. Let's see.
So walking out. Now, where am I going to find some really nice wings?
I was just thinking that myself. You think about it. What if he gave me 2 sets of wings instead of removing the legs?
The rest of you are making your way out too?
I can imagine Riddle and Cruella just having a conversation
Yeah.
about everything, the possibilities now.
Yeah.
So the two of you are quite. So the two of the party are intrigued. Ashtar, you and Aloran, you see the other two come out. Are you getting back into the apparatus? And was it Spike? And carrying on up the street. Oh,
I mean, it's yours technically. Ashtar.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to keep walking up.
Sure.
So,
Ashtar,
sure.
you sensed when you were in there, because you were waiting still, just sort of like worriedly watching the other two descend,
Yeah.
that you sensed that there is, if you tried to think hard about it, you could possibly enter the stair from here.
Yeah.
So
I'll
somewhere-
mention that to others.
Okay. So, and then anyone else
Yeah.
who thinks about it can sort of start to go, oh yeah, I can feel it. It's like there's this presence and there's...
Maybe we can sense where it's softest kind of thing.
Yep, so if you come in, once you come down the big passage down onto that ground floor, anywhere in there is is receptive to being open to the stair, to the infinite stair.
But is it somewhere we want to enter?
Oh, yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, just like in Cicero's, you could step through onto the staircase.
I mean, we are still trying to explore the stair, yes? I'll look at the others. Checking on what people's plans are.
Laura is very much still thinking about the possibilities of not having legs and having 2 sets of.
I think we can consider that while we're exploring the stair. I mean, you do you. I'm happy for you to sacrifice your legs if you want to. If that's your thing. But I'm gonna go this way. And I will sort of tentatively start thinking that maybe we should actually just push through here and see what other people are doing. If they're gonna keep walking, then I'll stop and keep walking. But if they're just kind of hovering and going, yeah, okay,
Oh,
then I'll give it a go.
The chatting is just going as you're walking along.
Oh, okay. Then that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll just keep going.
Yep. So you pass by another place. It's a ruin of an area. Very few buildings with roofs. You're getting close to Cicero's. You're just a little bit south of it. And you go past an area that is got a signpost. And it points to Fiddle and Blind's auction house.
The auction house.
Yes.
Ooh. What time of day is it?
It's night. You're walking
Is
through
it
the night.
Still night?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You know it's just a couple of blocks more to get to Cicero's. But now you know.
Does it look open?
No, it doesn't look open, but
open.
there's no real doors as such. If you want to have a snoop around, I can move,
Yeah, sleep out.
move you to that area. Let's have a look.
Riddle Snoop never.
Yeah, have a little intel gathering
Yeah.
mission. Yeah, I'll be in on that. I'm not very snoopy, but I'll certainly have a look around.
Okay.
I'm intrigued. I feel like Riddle just like disappears into a shadow and I'm like, what? Huh?
Pretty much, I'm already gone.
Yeah. You just like duck under something and I'm like, huh?
I'm happy to roll a stealth check too if need be.
You don't want me following you because I'm like clanky and noisy.
Yeah. Yeah, we know this. Hang on. Let's see if it works. Not the best roll. Only a 13.
Now I've not got everything marked on here or whatnot. This just gives you a bit of an idea of a. You'll have to sort of ignore the internals of the rooms. Not that there's anything to specifically give away here, but the auction house is pointing to a large circular tower with an arched doorway, and there's a couple of intact rooms from what would otherwise be a derelict building.
Mm. Interesting.
Let's see. I'll get us here. Bear with me and I'll describe it to you. The signpost says Lot 13.
Mm.
There's a bit of a graffiti under the sign. Looks like from someone who's either come out of or gone into the auction house. It says, "I cannot regret the promise I made that night under the hollow stars, though oftentimes I think, perhaps if I had been wiser, things would be different.
Intriguing.
I'll post that into the chat for you.
Yeah, interesting. Cool. Is it a riddle or is it just poetry?
It looks a bit like some sort of musing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's written in common.
Yes, it is.
Is there any like is hollow stars an actual like reference that we recognise, or is that just being poetic, or do I just not know?
You could roll.
Like, is there a specific like mythology or history
you could roll,
where that phrase, the hollow
roll
stars?
an insight for me.
Oh man, insight's this is my worst. It's okay. Oof, it's not okay.
Okay, one.
No idea. I'm not one for history or poetry, obviously.
You look at it and say, I think it's spelt right. That's as far as you get with your one.
Yeah. I'm like sounding out each letter, each word.
Low.
Hello.
3 letters.
Hello. What does that mean? I'm thinking like, she just doesn't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Oh well, it was a good try.
Okay. So, do you want to have a go anywhere or have a bit of a snoop around?
Oh, definitely. I do go.
Okay.
Now, I'm not stealthy. And I'm not really going to even sort of attempt to be stealthy.
Okay.
If Riddle has just kind of taken off and disappeared, then that's cool.
Yep.
But if I see Riddle, knowing that she's probably being a bit sneaky,
Yep.
I'll try to like keep her in my sights, but not necessarily like approach her, just to let her do her sneaky thing.
All right. You can see,
Almost like I could be a decoy.
You can see Riddle with a cloak over her elbow, and she's got a face in the crook of her elbow, and she's doing her best sneaking, and you're sort of watching her sort of slink along the side of the building or whatnot. There is a building that you can see directly to your north.
I think Creola's also sneaking along, like right behind Riddle.
Okay, so we'll put
Riddle.
I'm just going to take direct path.
Yeah, okay. So Riddle and
I'll probably be a decoy.
Riddle and Creola, you're sticking to the eaves. There's no shadows because remember it's pitch black, and you can hear in the distance as Aloran. Ashtar sounds pretty much like one of these things because you're wearing full plate armor. But eventually, it comes to a broken area of a building, and
Sorry.
And the stone courtyard there's a collection of ruins scattered ahead of you. A tiny wooden sign now saying "Fiddle and Blinds Auctions" stuck to one wall of half of it rotted away. Through the rain, you can see a small number of people milling about, with a sort of vague intent, just milling around. And in this area, let's see, all around where you are now, there are some people sort of just milling about, and they sort of eye you off, but then just go back to what they were doing. The stone
open the top of the tank and just like do the salute kind of hey, and then close it again slowly.
Okay, they don't really look at you. You can tell they know you're there.
That's cool.
But you can hear a bit of a
Uh-oh.
While they're focusing on our loud companions, I want to try and see if I can slip in off
I'm also
and
on to
have a
that.
look. Kind of like slip in like up here.
Okay. You can see that they're men, and as you sneak through Riddle, it's human men and women against the walls, and they eye you with suspicion as you go through the gap. They look poor, wretched, homeless. They're completely drenched, ignoring the rain, and they watch you. One of them has a sign around their neck.
Mm.
It's in common, and it just says in large capital letters, "The end comes."
Ooh. They're doomsday preppers.
Yeah.
Neat.
And you move into this room, it's undercover. There's a door going in further, stone one. The roof is intact above you, Riddle and Criella.
If I'm sure they see me, I'm gonna stand upright and be a bit more casual about it as I walk towards the second door.
Well, they've seen me. Like, did they?
As you go through the doorway,
Okay. Creel's gonna continue sneaking around the walls and walk over to the
yeah,
door.
okay.
Still gonna go, like skirt around everybody, like with Creel up, but be a little less. Try to sneak by not being sneaky. If that somehow made sense.
Okay,
I'm blending rather than shadow sneak.
right. And what are you trying to, other than going over to the door, what do you want to do?
Alright, see if it's unlocked or anything.
No, it seems to have a lock. Pretty decent one, and the door is stone and pretty well maintained.
I just want to keep an eye out. Wait.
The people inside, do they react when we get close to the door, or investigate the door, or?
Do they do any? Yeah, they sort of move away from you.
Can I just have a look at the lock and like see if they react to me?
No,
Like,
they're pretty much
do they?
ambivalent.
Yeah.
Can you see in this area? I guess you've got a light source, or relying on dark vision.
I'm happy to rely on dark vision. That's up to.
I'm happy to learn. I think I have dark vision.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
Typhons
pretty
have it.
Yeah.
And I think Ashtar and Lauren, you both have it as well.
Yeah.
I do, yeah. I want to keep an eye out for anything that might seem a bit dangerous
Okay.
coming up behind people,
Okay. A couple of
around
these,
people.
a couple of these wretches look at you hungrily.
You know,
Mm,
I've got
hungrily.
You know, like their eyes are sort of, you can see the whites of their eyes looking at you as they lean against the walls.
They look like like shambling corpses, or do they look like they're alive?
No, they look
They're not
alive.
undead.
They look alive. They look like people,
Yeah.
just like
Okay, cool.
you know, bedraggled wretches.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
They all have straight faces, though.
I'm gonna attempt to pick the lock. I've got thieves' tools.
Yeah, I'm gonna be ready to, like, actually have my sword out.
Okay.
Riddle's gonna see
Be
the thieves' tool.
ready.
Sorry. Riddle's gonna see thieves' tool and go, is this one of your strong suits?
What do you roll for? Like, how do thieves' tools work?
Oh, you just roll a dexterity check. If you have proficiency in thieves' tools, then you get your proficiency bonus.
Okay, it's just dexterity plus proficiency.
Yeah. Just as any other skill that you're proficient in.
Yeah. So that's a +6 on top of that.
What did you get? 8?
That's a 14,
Okay.
including proficiency bonus.
All right. So you're over at the door. Jiggle, 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 rattling around at it. Let's see. The door opens. Not from you picking the lock.
No.
It's like when you're going to, like, knock on a door and someone opens it from the other side and you're like, whoa, what? Is there someone? I'm not in there, am I?
You're within sight.
Yeah, I was just wondering if like, it looks like someone is coming through that door, because if that's a potential threat, then I want to be...
see.
Yeah.
And a short, grumpy man.
It just depends
looks at you.
on, I guess, on how the door opens.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it opens up and there's a person there who's clearly opened it and said, "Oh, what are you doing?" And he's got half-moon spectacles and he's in a sort of dressing gown.
As soon as I see him, I'm going to be looking at it, because I'm going to be like, how do you... Is it? Be along one, you know, it's so rude to try and pick somebody's lock, you know? And they kind of look at him and like, oh, I'm just saying this was bad form.
He says, "We're closed, but we'll be auctioning the next item tomorrow morning. If you wish
the next item?
If you wish to come at first light, you can inspect it. The auction will start at midday."
What's the next item?
Ooh, yes, we've got a bit of a queue forming now. There's quite a few. Can you roll D20 for me? That would be Criella.
The Kriella, you got this.
7.
Sorry, what was it?
7.
7. Ah, yes. He
You
says,
sound so disappointed.
he says, "No, don't be put off by these eyes on this fabulous piece of tailing, but it's got a lot of colours, and while the eyes on it might be a little bit disturbing, they look into your soul. It's quite gross, but I think we might get something for it as a curiosity."
See.
And he says, "Mr. Blind, what's tomorrow?" And he calls out something. What might that be? Criella, do you want to do another roll?
Oh, 20. 2.
I'll post it into the chat. 2. Okay. An invisible rag.
How do we know it's there?
Well, you can come and inspect. We allow people to inspect under the closeful eye of myself and Mr. Blind.
I want to reach into my pocket, pull out absolute nothing, and say, "Oh no, we've already got one of those."
Ah, yes.
Yeah, is it only invisible to Mr. Blind because he's blind?
Oh no, you can feel it.
Okay, I shout
I'm
from the
pulling
door.
a rag.
Okay, and I'll post that. Are you here for a few days before you move on, or...?
Ending business? Yes, we should be around a few days, my friend.
Maybe.
I don't know. It gets a bit. It fluctuates as we get a few days into it. But Mr. Blind, is there anything in that we're expecting shipment? And he looks down at. He doesn't look down. Looks up. Like off to one side, thinking. And Creel, I'll give you one more roll. So you got a few days in advance.
17.
Okay.
Might be worse than the invisible rag.
Or that I covered something.
It's a little gruesome, but almost indestructible. A piece of anatomy. It's a indestructible hand extender, back scratcher.
Oh no, that's piqued my interest, good sir. I will have to be back for that.
That's day 3.
Right, guys, we're coming back in 3 days.
3, you want to return then?
Okay.
Not that we have much silver to spend.
Oh no, we don't. We're not interested in silver. We trade in squeams.
Aha! This also could be a problem. What's a squeen?
You trade a piece of yourself for these magnificent
There's the
items.
catch. Right.
I'm sure I've got a few squeams to spare in my many necklaces. My many necklaces that I've picked up along the way.
So you're like squeamish, you might say?
Mm.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, it is an option.
It's okay, I just sold my soul.
Yeah,
Yeah, we saw it leave.
pieces of you.
Yeah. It's fine.
I see you have a apparatus over there.
That's Spike.
That's Spike, he's a good dog.
You wouldn't care to auction it? I think we could auction ours as a pair. We have another one coming up apparently, but don't know when it's arriving.
What will we get for it?
Well, maybe you could trade.
Do we get bits of other people's bodies? Is that what? Is that something we want?
Perchance wings?
Nice.
Wings? What do you mean?
One's like this fellow's.
Oh. We might be able to trade you that apparatus for some wings. Apparatus is highly sought. So are wings.
I don't know, Spike can get rabid if you rub his legs the wrong way.
Moves much faster if you do it the right way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So Riddle is saying all of this with a straight face, by the way.
Now, just for everyone, it's just gone 10, or just after. Do you want to take a quick grab a coffee, whatnot, have a bit of a break for 5
Oh, that would be
10
really
minutes?
good.
Please.
Okay.
Do with a drink.
Alright, well let's do that. And
Ooh.
we'll meet back in 10 minutes, but not go too much longer than that in any case.
Okay,
Alright.
Yep.
no problems. See you soon.
Okay, yep, I'm all good to go. Alright, so coffee in hand. We are outside Fiddle and Blinds. You've been talking with Mr. Fiddle, the rather portly, grumpy looking merchant, and Mr. Blind, who you saw but he was further in, who is...
You can hear his voice.
Yeah, you could hear a voice in the background. And you know a couple of things that are coming up over the next days. there's lots of derelicts lingering around the house, around the series of broken down places. And you know the auction house is the big round place further to the east of where you are. What do you want to do from here? Are you just heading on back to Cicero's?
Sounds good to me, as long as we're back in 3 days.
Ah, in 3 days for the scratcher?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Alright, I'll just go to everyone together again just to do a copy of the tokens.
Don't you, as like a cat, just kind of scratch everywhere anyway? Do you need a back scratcher?
Of course I do.
Okay.
It makes it look more civilized.
Absolutely.
Oh,
And
no,
in
it's
3 days,
cool.
Riddle will have forgotten.
I mean, look, I understand I have hands, but I still use a sword.
True.
Fine.
Okay, so you head further north, head out and head further north. And let's see, I'm going to... You're pretty sure it's just a couple of blocks to get to Cicero's. Place well known, you've all been there before.
Would I have been there before?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I did it again.
What's that?
Like mimicking sounds and little noises like the chat or dice edition trigger me to like repeat out.
Through the dark, a voice rings out ahead of you. Behold, you are blessed. You are blessed, all behold.
Which direction is it?
Ahead of you, down the main street. And, yep, Ashtar?
Is it like a, like, I don't know, imagine an adult voice? It's not like a child?
Yeah, it's an adult voice, and it's calling out
High voice, low voice?
like a town crier.
Okay.
And you have chosen to witness the end. And a gaunt, ragged figure emerges from the rain.
Does he also have a placard that says the end is nigh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, same kind of cult, right?
Yeah.
Now, is this similar to the guys that I saw wandering around before?
It may even be the same procession.
Yeah, okay. Because like when I was in the Cicero's looking out the window, I saw them, hey?
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know if I really want to tangle with this lot, though. I mean, they'll probably just walk us by. I don't think they'll do anything. But I don't know. You know what? Like zealous types are like. Look at Sir Petrus. Or not, because he's not here. But what do you guys think?
Are they walking past, or have they set up a little preaching station?
No, they're walking past. So there's this creature.
Yeah, they're doing like laps of the town kind of thing, right?
Human-like creature. I'll post it into the Discord chat for you. Otherwise, it'll be a bit
Cool.
tricky. Let's have a look. And spanning this preacher of sorts, there's these huge hulking brutes either side of it. Hideous, trollish. However, they've got multiple eyes.
Whoa. Just looks at the picture.
The human at the front, the preacher, seems to have, initially you think the growths on it, but it looks like there's worms, sort of half worms poking out of its claws and its arms.
I mean, that's gross, right? It's not just me.
Yes.
You're all seeing this?
Nah, it's pretty.
And they seem to be sort of flanking. There's 4 of them. And they're just hulking along.
I personally would like to... Am I still in the tank? Am I still in Spike?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just gonna hunker in and just ignore this and pretend like just wait for it to go away.
Okay.
What happened to my familiar when we came back into the normal world?
It still looks like a octopus.
Okay.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh.
And poor Sir Lottle's steed, when you all came through together, still sort of flaps and rolls along on its tentacles.
Right.
Curiosity.
Yeah.
As they're walking along, in say less than 60 feet, is there an opportunity that like we can turn a corner and they're like out of sight
Yes.
and we're out of sight?
Yeah.
Okay. As we hit that point and go around the corner so we can't technically see each other,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to cast Banishment on the lead priest.
I think you need to be able to see them to cast it.
That's what I'm saying, like I'll pause just before we turn around the corner
Oh, okay, no worries. All right.
and then keep going, and I just leave him in chaos for a minute.
Okay. All right.
Holy
Let's
crap.
see.
That whenever I've heard it.
You just the somatic component is just flicking your fingers
Oh,
on the child.
Yeah.
And let's see. What does it need to do?
It's a charisma save of 21, if I understand this correctly. Just a
Crikey.
moment. How would it go? And I cast it at 5th level anyway. I just want the priest though.
Yeah, sure.
I just want to cause some
Yep.
chaos
Okay.
as we turn around the corner
Okay.
and listen to them scream.
Charisma saving throw. Let's.
Sorry, DC 21.
Okay. Come back and I'll just roll a natural and I'll add its pluses in. Alright. It sort of flinches and twitches, and you see its hands sort of pause, and its exaltations of doom pause for a moment, and then it sort of looks around. Let's see.
As the spell was cast, I went around the corner. I didn't even pause to see if it worked or not.
Yeah, okay.
you just hit this.
Sorry, I'm in a chaotic mood. I apologise. Not.
That's why you played an anthropomorphic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Embody the
And so you don't know if it's happened or not, but then you hear the cries of doom and things pick up the pace.
Fine.
So it didn't.
That couldn't possibly have any negative repercussions.
Yeah. And eventually you make it to Cicero's bar, carrying on. And I think everyone's there. You should see this now.
Yeah.
I assume that Spike is just parked outside. Oh, there's 2 riddles.
Yeah.
That's how I was doing it, Mr. Mustafa.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think. Yeah. I think Spike would just be like just out the door somewhere,
Yeah.
where we can easily.
No problem.
It's like a getaway car, you know, ready to go.
And this is evening. It's starting to get late. You've made your way halfway around the city by now. And Cicero's there. This is actually prime time pretty much for them, although it's getting later. There's a few locals deep into their cups. There's a guy playing the piano. He's doing his best, but he's got no hands. He's just got stumps. Ding, ding, ding. He can do the running along them pretty easy, but otherwise he's mashing it up.
Nice. He's doing his best, guys. Is he enjoying it though? That's the main thing.
Yeah, he seems to be enjoying it. He's right into it. He sounds like he's hearing a different tune than he's playing.
That's alright. I think you know, enthusiasm counts for a lot.
Yeah.
What's up for your
welcome
performance,
back.
mate?
How did you fare? Did you find Cecilia?
Short answer, no.
Well then, what'll it be? I forget, I was putting on my fiddle and blinds accent.
Yeah, hard to remember. What will it be? What do you have? I can't remember. I didn't drink last time I was here.
Well, just the regular stuff. Ale.
Yeah. Do you have anything?
We've got wine.
Yes. Okay. I'll have a glass.
He
Please.
says I've got my other stuff behind the counter here.
What do you recommend? What's your favourite?
Well, he sort of looks at you and says, "You look like you could look like you need one of my. You're in time for a bloody awful."
Oh, is that made of like organs? Or is it just a name?
It's a secret family recipe.
Because I feel bloody awful.
He says,
I will have one.
okay. He says it'll be 10
That'd be great.
silver.
10. 10, alright. How about 8? Is that okay?
No, but you might.
8 and a foot massage.
Okay, can you roll a persuasion?
I mean, you're on your feet all day. It's got to be tiring.
Roll a persuasion for me. You can have advantage. Because he does have sore feet.
Oh my god, I got a 2 and a 3. Can you believe it?
Wow.
I have a +7 to advantage, and to
Okay, so no, that's right. You got a 10. That's enough. He says, 8 and a foot massage deal.
Alright, nice. Cool. Yeah, I'll hand him over the silver
Okay, hand him over. You cross off your 8 silver.
with my and just like crack my knuckles and like massage my hands.
Okay,
Big, strong, muscly hands.
Sure. Yeah, well, he was eyeing
ready.
off your forearms when he was deciding.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, I do have the silver, so I will give him.
Okay. All right. So he gets quite a few different bottles and mixes them, pulls them all up together as if he's making some quite elaborate cocktail. And he says, "There you go." And it's just a little sort of slammer, and you can see there's quite a few layers of different colours in there. And he says, "Now you need to do this in
Meant to like. Okay.
Are you going to slam it back? Are you over at the bar?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
are you rest of you
Yeah, I'm
over
gonna
at
do
the
it.
table somewhere?
No hesitation.
Okay, all right. You slam it back, and it tastes disgusting. Slides down eventually. There's some. The last bit is a bit like tar that sort of pushes all the rest down. It is bloody awful, but you finally find that you get this sort of clarity of thought, and you are feeling not rested like a long rest, but rejuvenated in some way. And he says, it'll only
Does it
work.
help with my madness?
Yes, your madness goes down to 0. You no longer feel like you're on the edge.
Neat. Woo, that was great. Thanks.
No problem. And if the rest of you are not drinking, I see your furry friend over there is by the fire already, like last time. He comes around and pulls up a pew, puts his foot on one of the chairs. To get ready for his foot massage.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm definitely over there doing that. I'll move myself to nearby
All right.
here and
Excellent.
crack my knuckles and get to work.
Okay. Well,
Work out the tension, the knots, and
10 minutes later or so.
getting right into the arch.
Do you have coin to take a room overnight, or are you looking to earn a bit?
It could be both. How much is the room? Did we stay here before? I can't remember.
I think it's about a silver each. I just need to check.
Yeah. I feel like we have asked this before, but I've just forgotten.
I've got it. Two silver each.
Zoloth and Core aren't back yet, are they?
No, they may be booking in somewhere else, or they haven't.
I will buy a room for everyone.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll cover it. Yeah, I'll cover it for everyone.
So what's that? 8 silver pieces.
Yep. Sure thing. I'll do it now.
He says if you are looking for work, there's a family who's nearby, and they're offering up board and lodging and food for anyone who can come and help out with their family problems.
Oh, that's interesting. I'd like. Can you tell me where that is?
Yeah, it gives you an address, and it's only a few blocks away.
This is all while I'm still like working
Yeah,
out
no
the
problem.
knots in his
Yeah,
feet.
having a
We're
chat in
just
the chat.
chatting as.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like when you get the hairdresser,
Okay. Yeah.
They just ask you about your day, and you're like trying to talk without moving too much, and then going, oh, stay still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like that kind of thing.
All right, you get a bit more gossip out of him throughout this time. Aloran and Criella, you're both within earshot as well. You can hear this clicking over in the corner. And
She's gone to sleep
yeah.
in front of the fire.
He
My
says,
little
yeah,
hands making biscuits.
there's a widow who's no longer a widow, and she just needs someone to look in on her husband. He's recently returned, but is ailing.
A widow who is no longer a widow. Her husband has returned.
Yes, there's sometimes miracles happen.
Yeah, I think we can look in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's that, and if you're looking for other work, there's always Mother Haggle. She's got a notice board, and there's always silver to be earned with her.
Good. Yeah. Sometimes you need to take the little jobs to get to complete the bigger jobs, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
It's always step.
Okay, so with that, you've got a couple of potential things of where you might earn a bit, if you're interested. Anything that you're sharing of your recent events?
Did you see our Spike out the front? He's pretty cool.
He says no, but if he...
This guy's a dwarf, right?
Human.
Oh, he's human.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, yeah, everyone in the place was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just casually mentioned this cool construct that I built.
Okay.
Just, you know,
All right. He's very
with my
curious
hands.
about
And
that.
yeah.
At some point, Riddle yells up, "Hey, what do you know about that crazy scientist? She's not moving from the road. She's just going to yell it across the room."
Oh, Ashtar has 100% like just blocked that out of her memory. That room. She's like, no, thank you. So yeah, go ahead.
The asylum? You're talking about the asylum? That's a huge place. One of the biggest buildings in the city.
No, he does augmentations.
Oh, Dr. Zakari. Don't know much about
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
Don't know much about it, but I've seen advertisements in the Changing Faces press. You know those flyers?
Yeah. And zines.
Yep. And he pulls one out and says, "Oh, here's one of the latest ones." And there's an ad. There's 4 items on it. One says,
Is this more recent than the one that we saw?
"It is.
last
It
time?
is." He said there was.
Okay, cool.
He said there was a few days where things were a bit light on, but they've started to come. We've seen them going back into circulation now.
Yeah, I was going to say, did they rebuild then?
You must have, I guess. I don't know. But the Changing Faces is still. You can't stop the media.
Can't stop the press.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. So
what does it say?
It
I'd like
says-
to have a look. I'll
There's
take
2
it.
ads. One says free augmentations, alterations and additions. Contact Dr. Zakari. And another one says lost cat answers to Cheshire. Feed it with riddles and lost and red herrings.
Oh, we know that cat.
There's
Is the lost cat ad? What's the contact details for that? Do they say like who to go to?
It's the Duchess.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if when we saw the cat, if it was like not meant to be there.
Oh yeah, yeah. She had hundreds of
Like maybe she, yeah. Or whether she had lost it. You know what I mean? Like maybe she stole it. I don't know. Maybe it was just hanging out in her place. But yeah, so it's the Duchess that put that ad out. So that means the cat's gone missing since we saw it.
There's a headline, and I'll just summarise the article, but it's basically saying there is nothing hiding in the rain, reveals a research watchdog. There's 2 obituaries. Mrs. Feathercap, 24, recently married, died in a tragic roof accident, and Oscar Treelaven, 36, died of heart attack in a side alley.
We don't know. Like these aren't people we killed by mistake or anything. I can't remember.
You haven't really met many people in the streets and things, so...
Good. I just was checking that we didn't accidentally knock someone off a roof and then be like, oh, we're too busy to like worry about that now. Good.
It's only pushing if someone sees us.
Oof, remind me not to climb a roof with you.
There's an,
I'm a cat.
there's another.
Okay, you do just not think roofs for no reason.
Glasses, people, not necessarily mutually exclusive.
That's a cheap burn.
Recent immigrants from the bridge identified as to blame and responsible for the crisis of shadow deaths increasing.
They're blaming us or ridiculous. Oh. Can I keep a copy of this? I say to.
I'll post it in the chat. Here we are. Immigrant crisis. Blaming is to blame for shadow deaths. And the last of the headlines is there's a lily onslaught reaches new heights as the invasive plant hits urban communities.
Interesting. Lilies. Is there anything about anything else or anything about the like weird cult of doomsday people? Or can I ask the button? Maybe just quietly?
Yeah,
so there's no one to...
Cicero will say yes, they come by every now and then. It's not all the time, but not really frequent. But
What's the deal? Do they not eat? They're so skinny and
don't know.
They kind of just shamble around. It's strange.
It's best.
Do you think they're much of a threat?
Yeah, best not to look at them.
Yeah. Do they don't socialise? They just do that little procession and shout their little spiel about the world.
I don't like to think about it.
But have you heard of them?
Don't know where they would come from.
But have you heard them of them or of people disappearing or being changed suddenly
all the time.
to
all the time.
Converting?
I don't know about converting. But
Yeah.
No, they come back happier.
Oof. It's a bad sign though.
Content.
The world's not a happy place.
They're content with their lot in life.
Sounds like a... I don't know. I'm not sure if that's a genuine response or some kind of charm upon them, some illusion in their minds that makes them feel that way. Because everyone has concerns. Everyone struggles, even those who are genuinely happy with their lives.
Well, that's what the bar's for.
Well, that's what we're here for, huh?
Yep.
Just knead a little bit harder into his feet for that pause of conversation.
All right. He says so. Eventually, he says so. Well, I better get these others settled in, and the guys that are look like the people in the bar, a few of them that have pretty much asleep at the stool that they're on. He goes around sort of putting blankets over them, and then he says you can head up to your rooms and gives you the numbers.
Yeah, I think sleep would be good.
Criella goes up to her room.
Okay. That's Criella?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So for the rest of you head up eventually? and he starts sort of blowing out some candles and leaves something burning, I guess. Throws a couple of logs on the fire. The rest of you head up and have a uneventful night, but it's still beset by these dreams, and you need to do a wisdom saving throw.
Do I have any benefit from having that dream? Like I sleep better or something?
Oh.
Sorry.
Natural 1.
Natural 1. Crikey. Riddles
I
passed.
only technically did one better.
Ashtar's okay.
Well.
Just a Lauren that we need.
Not mad.
Oh, it's Criella. Oh no. Lauren? We'll come back to you. I'll work out what happens with poor Criella. You're not just coping with this world.
That's +2, isn't it? Yes.
No paladin bonus, unfortunately. They're all off gallivanting. Criella, can you go for a D6 for me?
1.
1. Okay, we've got another thing going on. I'm going to come and back to the cone of silence. Okay, you got me?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is another trait as you start to get more and more of these quirks. While everything is a dream, what you're seeing, what you think now is, I'll just read it out to you. Beauty fades. Why pretend it is anything but a lie? So this is more about a depression thing. You're, everything's losing its luster.
And this is on top of the...
On top of the, it's all a dream.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
while you might have had this inquisitive, oh, everything's a dream, let's just coast through it. Now it's a bit more of an emo dream.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move us back.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, we're back.
Oh, should I roll for the hawk as well?
Yeah, unless you want, because you can dismiss it.
Yeah, actually I might dismiss it.
Okay. All right. And so the next day, everyone comes back. You need to be on 4 madnesses. And I didn't see Aloran. Might have had to step away.
Maybe.
Oh, and Criella, you were following the criminal through the city, having heard of it, but this was separate to your time in the watch in another realm or whatever where you.
Okay.
Where
Yeah.
It's 2 set, a background and then a current activity. All right.
Yeah.
So next day, what do you want to do, guys? Folks.
Does anyone want to go do a little quick trip to speak to this widow?
A little extra silver can't hurt.
What's the
Yeah,
point?
and also, well, the point is that they will give us free food and lodgings for doing it, and we'll need somewhere to stay tonight.
I suppose.
I mean, if you want to go to the body horror workshop and sleep there, by all means. but I think
Cool contraptions, though.
yeah, that's cool. Cool. Oh, I don't think I want to sleep there though.
Okay.
It's just a suggestion. We can head out to back to the stairwell if people prefer. I just thought if it's not far and it's on the way, I mean I know that we're here now. We've just had a rest, but it is good to have the option of somewhere nice to stay.
Sounds like a plan to me, Corella.
Oh,
Whatever.
Okay.
Cool.
You head out onto the street, and your apparatus bike is still there.
Oh yeah, cool.
You head down the
Hey,
street.
loser.
It's a gloomy day, but you have full visibility. You know, it's like dim light, but you can still see all the way down the street, just as far as at least the drizzle permits. You make your way to the house where you've heard, and some people, some locals come walking past you, and they look curiously at the big contraption, and you're all looking a little odd, unlike locals. And they sort of, one puts their arm around the other one as if to, come on, let's hurry along.
You're scaring the children.
Yeah. They eventually cross the road to sort of rather than not walking straight past you. You head down a side street that you're told where there was a greenhouse, and then you're told to go down to the last house on the left. You head down to that. I'm just paraphrasing here. quick marching, and you get to the address where you're told where. Let's see. Yeah, where there's Jessup, the Jessup residence.
I'll stand next to Ashtar and solidarity.
Okay. We don't need a map.
Not with the.
So you're out the front. You're under the eaves where there's a little bit of shelter where you can, you know, the owner, I guess, could unlock the door and keep out of the shade, keep out of the rain.
I'm just going to quickly look back to Spike and be like, stay.
Okay.
Good boy. Give him little scratches under the chin.
It stays.
This is the best right pet we've ever had.
The four of you head up to the door.
Yep.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
Give it a good. I give it a good.
Sorry,
have my weapons all sheathed and away, not drawn.
Yeah. So you're not looking like you're about to aggress anyone. Riddle, you knock on the door. I think I heard you say.
Yep.
Okay. Eventually you hear click, click, clack, clack of things being unlatched and unlocked, and the door opens a peek, and this probably between 50, 60-year-old peeks through, and she says hello.
Good day, my friend. We're seeking
Hello,
some
ma'am.
assistance.
Yes, Cicero has mentioned that you were requesting someone to maybe look in on someone for you.
She says, yes, and she sort of looks around and says, yes, come in. Riddle,
Thank you.
I missed what you were saying. Do you want to?
I was just saying along the lines of Ashtar.
Yep.
Same as Ashtar. We're here to help on a delicate matter.
Okay. She sort of ushers you into.
Sorry to cut you off.
That's it.
She ushers you into a sort of sitting room. It's a fairly small lounge room of sorts. There's a couple of couches there. As you go past, Lauren, did you want to say anything, or how are you coming through? And Criella as well.
Riella just kind of walks through, moping a little, not really
Okay.
looking at the person.
Okay.
Wait, is Lauren not in chat anymore?
I don't think so.
No.
Oh.
Lauren might have lost internet.
Yep, could be. That happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So let's have a Lauren at least for now. Looking after Spike.
Yeah, cool. Got like the little clicker, doing some clicker training.
Yeah.
Spike's
But
not a
otherwise, it
dog.
would be a bit crowded in a fairly small house.
Spike is remote controlled
Yeah.
as well.
So
I love how easily that happened. Mechanically
He's good at
speaking,
stay, and that's it.
Okay. So she says, and she comes and sits down and says, "Take a seat." And a little kid comes out, probably about 5 or so, and sort of just sits on the floor playing with some toys. She says, "Yes, my husband, Mr. Jessup, I recently lost him to a horrible sickness. However, without the aid of clerical magic, he came back. I've heard of it happening, but never thought it possible. I didn't know what to think really, and we're all so happy. But he's still been bedridden. But my problem is that my daughter, she's taken to him and won't let anyone near my newly resurrected spouse, my husband. Perhaps you could go and just have a chat to her and see if you can talk her into letting me bring him some food and things. That she's saying she's doing it all herself, but yeah.
How long has it been since he returned?
Oh, only a couple of days, and she has come and taken food, I know, but she's just called it. She won't let anyone come near him.
I'll go and try to talk to her. Does anyone else want to join me to help try to see if we can make sure this guy is getting some food and check in on his health?
I'll come with you, I suppose.
Riddle can stealth. It's a small building, there's no way to stealth, is there?
Oh, I guess you can always hide, it's not like there's, there's shadows to hide in, like around corners and things like that. If you want to do that little, or follow along behind them.
I'm happy to come along, but if you want me to be unseen, I can organise that too.
I can also organize still.
Okay.
I just thought that if you wanted to, I wanted to check what the building's facilities were for that.
Okay. So you come up to a landing, go along a passageway. The door's in front of you, Ashtar. Criella, you're just backing off to one side. Riddle, you're just sort of hiding in shadows somewhere, where there's a table and chairs where you might...
If I can get to a spot where I can be out of sight for even just a moment, I'll cast invisibilities.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say the exact same
And just
thing.
have a wander around.
Okay.
See, that's what I thought. Maybe I could distract the kid. and you can sneak in and check on this guy.
Okay.
And I go
In fact, I won't even try to I'll not even necessarily try to convince the daughter to let us in. I will just try to engage her in conversation and pull her away from the door enough for them to get in sneaky.
Actually, is the goal for me to just get in and have a look around while invisible? Because I might be able to. It's going to cost me 2 spells. Can I possibly do it?
Well, it's up to you. It was just a thought. I'm not
But if
sure.
we can keep the daughter distracted, that would definitely help.
Yeah, well, that's what I figured I would.
Invisibility doesn't mean undetectable.
No, but if I can pull her away from the door, and that you guys sneak in, sort of thing, and keep her occupied while giving you time to investigate. Because then you wouldn't even have to necessarily stay invisible. It'd just be like, wow, going in kind of thing.
I can do that too. I can just sneak in.
Yes,
I've got dimension door, so as long as I know where I'm going,
I'm not.
I can pop in. And then turn myself invisible if she's distracted.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not subtle. I don't know how you do this sort of thing, so I'm just do what you think is best.
No problem. So, I believe it. So you guys distract. I'll try and dimension door in and go from there. If she.
Okay, I think I've got it.
And if she turns around to look into the room after I'm in there, I will try and cast invisibility before she sees me.
So is she at the door or in the room?
So you're in an entrance, like with a passageway. You'll need to open the door to have a look into the bedroom.
Oh, okay.
So it's directly in front of you there.
I'll politely knock, just quietly. You know.
Okay. You hear, who is it?
This is Asha, just a friend of your mother's. Just come to see how you're doing.
Go away.
Go away. I thought you might be bored up here by yourself. I've got a game we can play.
I'm looking after Daddy.
I know, but you've got to take breaks every now and then. You can't look after your dad if you're not able to look after yourself as well, you know?
He goes quiet. I'll assume Criella and Riddle, you're both invisible at this point?
Maybe just around the corner, out of sight, rather than...
Just around the corner, because as soon as I cast something, invisibility
Yeah,
is
invisibility.
cancelled. So
Though I feel like I should
dimension
just...
dimension door before I cast invisibility.
Oh, I see, yeah. Okay, so you're just around the corner at this stage. And Criella,
Yeah,
I
I'm
missed your...
Waiting to know her focus is somewhere
Yeah,
else.
okay. Criella?
I can take you with me if you like, Krill.
That would work.
Offhand.
But
Basically.
I could be invisible while you do that, because I'm not casting the spell.
As long as you're the same size or small.
Yeah. So I'll go invisible.
Yes.
Now.
You're not doing the casting of Dimension Door.
Yeah. So I'll be standing next to Riddle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's sad.
The door doesn't appear to be locked. You could just open it. Ashtar?
I could, but I think at this point I'm trying to be a bit more polite and just... I don't hear anything for a while. I'll do another little tap again and just be like...
Can you roll a
Did we get her
perception
name?
for me? Roll a
The
perception
daughter's
for me,
name? Perception, huh?
Perception.
That is a 23.
Okay. You can hear a voice on the inside, and it's clear the teenagers, and she's saying, "Oh, Father, it's so wonderful you've come back to us," and it's very dramatic. "May I mop your brow? You'll be better soon. Back on your feet in no time." And so on and so on.
Do I hear any indication that from him, like any sound or speaking or even like moans or movement?
Yeah, you hear a sort of, "Yes, daughter." Quite a creepy voice.
Yeah. But definitely, like, you know, having a conversation and responding.
Engaging.
Okay. Yeah, like he's still cognitively, he's still there.
Yep.
I'm not sure what the state of his body is, but...
No, you haven't seen in the room yet, but you've got a good ear to the door, and you can hear well.
I'll do another gentle tap.
Okay. No answer.
Okay. After waiting like, I don't know, like a minute maybe,
Yep.
I will try to just gently open the door as quietly, and I'm sure it's creaky. They're always creaky in these situations. You know, just as much as possible.
Okay.
Try to open it quietly.
Yep. You open the door.
And slowly. Okay. Does she move to stop me?
No, and well, not that you've seen.
Okay.
But with the door open as much as it is, you can't see her yet, or the bed or anything, but you can see that there's a desk and a fireplace. It feels warm.
So before I actually go in, or as I'm sort of opening the door, I'll say like, I'm just coming in now. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not here to hurt your dad.
Okay.
Just trying to check in on you and make sure that you are looking after yourself enough, because you know you can't look after others unless you look after yourself, and we're worried about you. And just try to do that kind of casual conversation, calming thing as I go in. Trying to talk her down, sort of thing.
All right. Can you roll another persuasion for me? This is just as the state as you come into the room.
Which one? Sorry?
Persuasion. Well, not another persuasion. It was perception last time. This is...
11.
Okay.
Man, persuasion is my greatest. That and intimidation I still roll badly.
Right.
Actually, no, athletics is my better, but yeah, it's +7, and I still got 11, so that sucks.
Criella and Riddle, you see Ashtar sort of open the door up wide enough for her to head in. She goes in, you know, aggressively, and you see a young girl, well, not young, a girl, probably young teenager, sort of standing at the bed of a older man sitting up in bed in covers. And she says, "Oh, Daddy." She looks at you and says, "Oh no, keep away. You won't hurt him. I will stop you." And he sort of...
No,
not
here to hurt him.
And
Sorry, what did you say?
I was going to say, if Ashtar's able to enter the room without resistance, I'm just going to slowly follow in behind.
Okay, I'll move you along. So you're just right behind Ashtar there, Kriya?
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm already invisible, so can I try and sneak around them? Just into the corner of the room?
Yep, sure. Can you just roll a stealth for me?
Yeah.
Advantage to that. $29. Okay. So I'm just
37
Oh,
with
is it?
advantage.
97.
Natural 20.
Okay, alright, so
Dang.
I'm going to put the ninja symbol on you, and you move past, you can move past the Ashtar, and you can move yourself. You should be able to move your token around wherever you want to be.
Yeah.
Her eyes are fixed on Ashtar.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep her eye contact. Keep my hands out. Make sure that they're empty.
Sure, okay. And you can tell Ashtar that Riddle's sort of waiting to follow you through.
Yep. Well, yeah, I'll step through, but I'll again keep trying to reassure her
Okay.
that I'm not there to hurt anyone, and that I realise that she's, of course, she's going to defend her father if I was a threat.
Okay.
But maybe even I'll like take my belt off with the sword scabbard and put it down at the threshold, the door,
Okay.
and just be like as an obvious act of like non-aggression.
Yep. The father turns to the daughter and says, "Mercenaries." And she says, "Mercenaries? Look, they're armed. What are you? You're not doctors."
Can I have a look at the father?
And she has a
Now that I'm
she
making
holds a
contact.
candlestick. It's a metal one, about 2 foot long.
Can I have a look at the father now that I'm next to the bed?
Yeah, sure. Can you roll a
You
medicine?
can do whatever you want when you get a 37 on
Yeah.
stealth.
Anything?
Medicine?
Anything in particular? Are you trying to medicine? Are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
just have a look at.
Okay.
Like, oh.
He's got some bruising, a little bit greenish in spots, but otherwise you can't tell any, untoward effects or ailments or whatnot.
Yeah.
She's still.
I'll say response to mercenaries, and as I'm assuming the tone was an accusation, kind of like it was not a positive tone.
Yeah, and she.
Yes. So I'll say, yeah, you aren't wrong about us being paid to do work as such mercenaries. Sometimes that does involve fighting things. But the thing about mercenaries, the thing about groups of people who go out to solve problems is that they have a range of skills. It's not just one thing, and they have a lot of knowledge on a large variety of different aspects of the world. And one of those aspects is when you see a lot of people, when you see a lot of suffering, there's a lot of compassion and awareness for how people need to look after each other. And as a group, as a band of mercenaries, we work together. We look after each other. No one person takes all the damage. No one person does all the work. We're a team, and I can see that you and your dad are a team, and your mum wants to be part of that team, and your little brother downstairs. I think you don't need to do it all yourself.
She puts on this sort of pout, as if she's really taking this to heart. But it's got a bit of an Elon Musk pout to it.
Okay.
What are your three?
I've been progressively just taking steps closer as well while doing this.
I moved you both a square forward while you're talking, if that's all right. Let me know if I'm
Yeah,
taking liberty. What's your passive?
No, that's good. That's what I was hoping.
What are your three of you? What are your passive insights?
So inside
9.
20. No, 21.
21.
Sorry.
Okay. So
Good, 11.
11. Okay. And Ashtar, what's yours?
Mine's 9.
Okay. Cool. Lastly, what are your passive medicines?
-1. Oh wait, passive. No.
I think it's
That would be
8 plus, if you got proficient in it, 8 plus proficiency, plus wisdom.
so it would just be at 7,
Yeah, okay.
maybe.
Mine would be 7.
Okay, all right. No cleric or paladin in the party today. What about you, Riddle?
Yeah, no, they're both out.
No.
No.
I got lower.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure that cleric would be helpful in this situation. He's would be threatened by the idea of him being undead, right?
All right. Coriella, I'm just going to move into the Code of Silence once again with you.
Yeah.
Okay, Coriella, you see that the father seems to be putting on a bit of an act, like being the bad cop. She's putting on a bit of an act to be, concerned for him, but to you, she's not concerned about him at all. And while she's pouting and nodding profusely with Ashtar's overtures, she's really got no interest at all in what Ashtar is saying. You also notice, while medicine is that it's just absolutely obvious to you, though, that as the girl nods, her neck, her head just flops to one side. It's clear that she's got a broken neck.
Okay. Can I just be ready to attack if they do anything that ready in action to attack?
Well, you can.
I guess the old man.
You can't
Is
really. You can be there and be ready to
Yeah.
be on your guard so that you're not surprised.
Yeah.
But readying an action is done during initiative, so you can sort of
Okay.
you actually start to aggress and then wait for hold it.
Yeah.
Okay. But well, I'll move us back to the main.
Yeah.
Okay, we are back. Ashtar, Riddle, you. She turns to. You've seen her sort of nodding, and yes, this is true. I can see that you're not going to aggress me, even though you're mercenaries. The father turns and says, "They want to kill me."
What?
They don't believe.
Believe in what? Believe what?
That one
I look at. I'm
can return.
not looking at him. I'm looking
At her?
yeah, I'm looking at her,
Yeah.
even when I repeat his.
Yeah, okay. She looks around at him. Let's see. And she turns her head, and as she does, her head sort of looks like it's actually just perched in position, and it just flops at a certain vertebrae. Clearly it's been broken at some point. And her head sort of dangles down, looking sort of over her own shoulder. And she says, "Oh, Papa." And her neck sort of twists back around to look at you. The skin sort of tears a little bit. And she says, "They don't think we're alive, Papa. Shall we show them?" She starts to begin to laugh.
I stab the father.
God.
You hear a rustle of movement from the side, but don't see what's going on. But you can tell there's some sort of rapid activity going on. Can everyone roll initiative?
I was going to say, at the point where I see her neck is funny. I was going to step back toward the door where I left my sword, but if we're already in initiative, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll roll
Because
initiative.
I was trying to calm her
So
down.
if I select my character and then roll it, it should put it into the queue, right?
Yeah. And for you, Coriella, can you roll advantage for your initiative roll?
Okay, thank God. Okay, that's a bit better.
Okay. All right. So Ashtar, you're actually first off the mark. Your sword's over by the
Yeah,
door.
I'm backing up to the sword.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to go pick up my sword.
You go over to the sword. Free action to retrieve it.
Mm-hmm.
Shing.
Yeah, I'll draw it.
Yep, no
I'm
problem.
not gonna bother putting the belt back on yet.
No.
Just draw the sword and just hold it out and say, you know, stay back. What's going on? And do I notice that the guy's been stabbed?
Not yet.
Even though I can't. No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
You know.
I'll hold it. I will step forward
Okay.
to about here
Okay.
and put myself between the two and Riddle because I can't see where Fiala is. She's still invisible. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No worries.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on there, but I will put myself between Riddle and these two
Do you want to use your
and have my sword ready, but not attack. But if I can, like hold my action as like a ready to strike them if they come at me or come at Riddle.
Yep. No worries. So you'll attack
But not take that fight.
Yeah. No worries. You'll attack if it looks like there's aggression going to happen as a reaction.
Yeah.
Okay. It means you won't get multi-attack, but you'll get off one strike with your sword.
Yeah, because it's a reaction, not an attack action.
Okay. Criella.
Right. So I'm going. Drawing my cat's eye shard
Okay.
in one hand and short sword in the other. I'm going to slice at the old man
Okay.
with each of them and do that. Assuming they're here. First one and second one. And damage.
So the cat's eye shard hits with the 29.
Also it hits with the 26.
26 hits, yep.
And that's a sneak attack as well.
Yeah, it is a sneak attack.
Yeah. That's another 66.
How much in total?
32, 11, 11. 33, 11, 11, so that's 45.
Alright,
And then I also have an extra attack.
okay. So with the two
And-
of them, you stick the two daggers into this guy's head, and you've clearly just killed him. You've killed the dad.
Okay.
Yeah, just very happy that we picked a husband.
And then I'm gonna firebolt the daughter.
Okay, is this...
Oh no.
So the two daggers, with that, but you said that there's two of
So-
those there.
I have, because I'm a blade singer wizard,
Oh, I see.
I have extra attack that I can cast cantrips with.
I see. Okay.
So that's a 11 to hit the daughter.
The 11 misses the daughter.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Criella done. Riddle, quiet in the corner there.
Since everything's hit the fan, I'm going to go on with my good old favourite and just borrow 3 Eldritch Blasts.
Yeah, the daughter?
Very much dead.
Alright.
So I have no qualms on
Okay.
17 to hit, 27 to hit, and 29 to hit.
Okay, all of those hit. Force.
14, 5, and 9, so that's 28 total damage.
28. Okay. You boom, 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 all three hit her and knock her back, each one blasting bits of flesh, and she seems to sort of ignore it. It's almost like a, she's just sort of hanging there, like a zombie or something. You've fought them before, but she's clearly, conscious, and she goes, ow, ooh, ah, oh, you got me.
Bad acting.
Yeah.
Not yours, hers, I mean.
She's doing, she's doing a very theatrical thing.
Yeah. Same way that her talking to her dad was over the top, like stage theatre kind of.
Yeah, she was. Okay, and she steps up to you, Ashtar, and this tentacle of flesh bursts out of her chest and strikes at you.
Okay. Do I get my reaction before or after hers?
You can have it now.
Yeah?
Yep. Roll to hit.
I will whack her with my beautiful Solus Perdition's Gate
Okay.
weapon. Which is... I've just got it listed as this one. So... yeah, that hit. 29 hit.
Okay, 29 hits, definitely, yeah.
I mean, if 17 hit, then 29 does. So I got... What did I do? So 15 damage, but then I've got still the d6, I think, right?
Yeah, radiant.
Yeah, radiant damage. So the d6 is an extra 4 damage as well.
Alright, so that is enough to kill her. With the 3 Eldritch Blasts and this 2-handed sword, a great sword, you thrust it through the teenager.
In the state that she's in,
Yep.
is it possible to do like a non-lethal damage, or is she clearly a monster at this point?
You don't know. She looks like just a human.
Does she look like the guys walking around the street at all? I mean, she had a weird tentacle thing, so that's...
No, that's sort of manifested in front of her, but she looks like she's the daughter of the mum that's downstairs.
Yeah,
however,
if I
you can
could
see that her neck's
knock her out rather than kill her.
Yeah. Okay.
But I know her neck's broken, but I'm hoping we can rouse her downstairs,
right,
so her mum can see her in this state,
sure.
rather than us just turning up with a dead body and going, no, we didn't kill her, she was already like this.
Okay, so the floaty blade, big swing floaty blade, you crack across her head, and she goes, and her eyes wobble around in things, and she collapses on the ground.
Yeah. We can kind of just restrain her and take her downstairs to her mum, rather than just turning up with dead body.
Okay.
I mean, I know it's work, but
okay.
better, I think.
The 3 of you carry her downstairs, and the mother says, "What have you done? I sent you up to talk some sense into me."
We tried to talk.
This is a good news, bad news situation. Good news is, we're pretty sure we fixed the problem. The bad news is it's not the problem it was. It wasn't the problem you thought it was.
The mother's obviously just completely lost it. She sent you up to talk her.
Yes.
Her husband has recently been resurrected, and her daughter just wouldn't let anyone near the father.
Yeah.
Where's
There's
my
no
husband?
way that this
She
is
goes storming upstairs. And then you hear this.
I guess just best way is to just leave her be. I mean,
I'm feeling we're not staying here tonight, people.
yeah,
Ashtar and Riddle.
Not really.
Can you roll medicine checks for me now that you've got the daughter that you're carrying down?
I do have rope if we need to tie her up. Just,
Yep.
Oh man.
I don't want to get in that one.
So
Almost
Ashtar, you can't tell. Riddle, you can see that there's signs of strangulation.
Yeah.
broken neck by something very strong.
Does it look like does it appear to be like hand marks
Yeah,
or
human
kill?
hands. Yep.
Is there any like you say she kind of moved a bit like a zombie, but she was clearly like aware,
Yes.
more like a person. Is there any do we have any knowledge of that being a thing, like rumors that we've heard of people like that fits kind of this description rather than zombies?
Yeah, you let
I
you
mean,
roll.
she's clearly she bled, right? So,
Roll an Arcana between the three of you.
oof.
I probably have the highest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one between us, then it shouldn't have been me. Sorry, I already clicked it, but
Whoever's
before I
went
realized
first.
what you said.
Ash's was first. So.
No, that's all right. I was
Yeah,
I was
but
meaning you
I
can
clicked
each,
it before.
I was meaning you can each roll.
Okay.
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 Yeah, because I clicked it before I realized that. Yeah.
That's okay. Creola, you think that this may have been some form of possession.
I prefer that to rest figure.
And it might be that somehow the father in death was possessed by something. That
That's what I was
then
thinking.
may have mimicked being alive and maybe even killed the daughter, who's then been possessed by another one, allowed another one of these things in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, is there any similarity between this and the weird, shambling, doomsday cult people?
No, they look very different.
No?
These just look like, now they're just dead humans.
Okay, cool.
Those are clearly alien in some form.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
While the mom's upstairs, I would like to. I've got to get the right spell on this. Make sure. Use disguise self to make myself look like Sir Lottle,
Yep.
the shiny paladin, and using my because I'm assuming I've heard him speak enough.
Yes.
I've got the ability to mimic people's voices and speech patterns and stuff.
Yep.
I want to disguise myself as Zolotl using that spell, go up, put my hand on the mother's shoulder, and as Zolotl does, I'm not even going to attempt it because he is so unique in real life, explain that this is what has happened and I have used my divine sense and knowledge as a paladin.
While you're continue.
To explain why why when we actually saved the day.
Okay. All right. Creola, if you wanted to interject into that, we'll roll the dice in a sec.
Using illusory script, can I create a fake ID for him to make it seem like he's from some sort of
Some official.
I don't know. Yeah, official to doing that.
What's the fake ID doing?
To make it seem more official that he works with this kind of stuff.
See. Yep. Okay. So I'll give you advantage then with your letter of introduction as an authorised exorcist, Sir Lottle / Riddle. Can you roll a persuasion for me with advantage? Ooh, you needed it. You got a 6 and a 23. Okay, so despite her obviously, distraught and jumping to obviously you've just killed her daughter, da 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 da. She understands what's now happened, and this is like a double disaster for the family. But rather than blaming you, you managed to deflect her, sorrow to the fiends that possess the dead in this God-forsaken city. So much so that she offers to, if you could help to bury the two of them in the, outside in the lot, then she would hope that you would stay the night and maybe dine with them, and they would feel a bit safer. They'd feel a bit safer.
Is this what, like a shadow jet? Is it like that sort of possession thing? Is that what that was referring to? Something completely unknown.
No, you just thought it might have been that something that has possessed the dead rather than they are a undead of some sorts, because whatever being or was in them is now gone. You've heard of that happening.
I will volunteer to dig some graves and
Okay.
try to do the, I don't care if it's raining or whatever, I'll just go out and do it.
Okay. Awesome. So you're out there. It's very
I'll also kind of not saying much, I'll just kind of do it.
Okay, grim task. So you go out there, digging in the rain, very thematic. Dig the two graves. The mum and the small boy come and say their words, and they come and have a fairly quiet meal with you. Simple bread.
Mm-hmm.
She says there's not much, but there's enough. They had enough in the larder from yesterday for all four of the family, so there's enough to share around with the three of you.
Before the illusion fades, I want to, hopefully, if there's time during the meal, I want to do like a blessing and then be like, I have other duties to perform, but I may be back later, and make a show of walking out the door, and then Riddle comes back, hey, how's it going?
Hallelujah. Riddle comes.
What did I miss?
Nice.
Riddle's back in. So later at night, you're sitting around the fire in this. We can treat this now as the lounge room without the bed. The mum goes off to make some, hot drinks or something. And the little kid's sitting there and looks at you and says, "We didn't have too much food because we get the same amount every morning."
Yeah, I'm not really going to eat. Like, I'll eat a small bit, enough to be polite, to accept hospitality and accept that kind of responsibility as a guest, but not enough to actually take their food.
I'm with Crayola.
The kid says, "It's okay, the Brownies will bring back more tomorrow."
The Brownies? Is this something we recognise, or I'll ask?
She looks to the door. He looks to the door, and as if where his mum's gone. Let's see. And says, "Yeah," whispering, "The Brownies come every night. That's how we get our food.
Every night.
They restock our shelves. Bread, milk, butter."
That's mighty generous of them. What? Do they do this for everyone? What? Or is it a special thing for you and your mum?
So long as you don't frighten them. And you're reminded of a this old story of the cobbler.
Yeah.
And which you might have heard of a story like that in your own world, from your own childhood.
Yeah.
He says, "Yes, the Brownies come. There's no shops or anything here. We just get. It just appears, but it's all the grown-ups say it's a miracle of the gods, but I've seen them."
You've seen them? Wow, what do they look like? Tell me, quick, before your mum comes back.
Have you ever looked under the bed at night?
Under? No.
They look like that.
No, I'm too scared to do that. That's brave.
They look like the space.
I like do wide eyes as if I'm really surprised. That...
They look like the space behind the curtains at night.
They look, the space behind the curtains? That's an intensely deep response from... Wow. Okay.
But when they come out, they leave food, the same amount and the same things each night, and restock and the larders. The family next door, though, they stayed up to talk to them one night, and from that point on, no brownies came ever again. And they starved.
Horrible.
They starved.
Well, maybe we should not be looking under the beds then, huh?
No, if you're looking, you need to hide under your bed covers and just peek.
That's very smart. Yeah, those bed covers they're like a safety device, you know? They keep you safe. It's good.
The mum comes in and says, "Right, you come on,
I just...
off to bed."
Yeah. Okay. I give him a big, like, wink, like,
Okay. She's going out the door.
Like we're in on some
ushered
joke.
ushered by the mum. I keep saying she because we're using the same token. He's being ushered out the door by the mum. Come on, I'll tuck you in. And he just looks over his shoulder and looks at you all, and just says, "Don't look.
Yeah.
Don't look under the bed." And then the mum sort of rushes him out. And with that, we will close for the night.
So who wants to look under the bed?
Yeah, you can look under the bed next week.
Yeah, next week we'll decide what we do.
Yeah. When maybe Sir Lottle and Sir Petrus knock on the door, finding out where you've been to because you missed the rendezvous at Cicero's.
So lovely, you're back.
Yeah.
That was quick.
Okay.
And Cicero would know that where we were kind of headed
Yeah,
to,
that's
so...
right. Okay, I'm going to. I'll close off now, and because I was intending to try and, for everyone's sanity, finish at 11. We've gone almost an hour on. Okay.
Yeah.
See you all in a fortnight.
See you in 2 weeks.
And thank you.
Good.
All right.
Night.
Bye.